basement of a Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Come on out, 1965, them boys were called upon. Some fist-fighting cowboys in them jungles of Vietnam. I'm an airborne man, baby. Drop me anywhere you please. Yeah, I'm one mean motherfucker. Don't you never double-cross me. 19 years old, doing the bidding for Uncle Sam. A desert boot strapped on my feet, machine gun in my head. I'm an airborne man, baby. Drop me anywhere you please. Y'all, I'm one mean motherfucker. Don't you never double-cross me. Come on now. Strapped across my vest, 800 more, and I'm gonna pluck one in your chest. I'm an airborne man, baby. Drop me anywhere you please. Y'all, I'm one mean motherfucker. Don't you never double-cross me. Don't you never. I'm a mean motherfucker, so don't you never double-cross me.
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
We be back.
We be back twice in a row.
Yes, hell yeah. And Bronco wants to know what's up with all the bikes, man. That's Ice's bike. Ice took those videos in the intro. I have a bunch of footage I took last week during the rally. Maybe I didn't get it uploaded yet, but I should start incorporating that into the thing. Hey, thanks, Heath. Yeah, yesterday was my birthday. Thanks for happy birthday wishes.
Yeah, it was your birthday.
It was. I turned 43 yesterday. So, yep.
You're such a baby.
Such a baby.
You're so young.
I know. I wish I was in good a shape as Heath. That's my goal. Speaking of that, what's up, Heath? Thanks for coming out tonight. Musa, what's up? What's up, Richard? Thanks for being here. Warhorse for Veterans is here. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for everything you guys do too. And so I really do appreciate everyone being here tonight. So we have a guest tonight.
We do. We have a guest second half.
Yes.
He's a TikToker.
He is a TikToker.
And an active duty soldier.
Yes. All of the things.
He's got all the hands in the pockets.
Good for him.
Is that
today.
right? Does that sound right?
Yes.
All the hands in the pockets.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, actually. I really am. This is our first TikToker, isn't it?
For us, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean for our show. Because One Punch Dad's been on Friday Night Freedom and everything. So he said he had to go to urgent care.
I think what?
In Europe, he probably had to go down there and donate blood because there was some kid that was dying without his awesomeness transfusion.
Yeah, right. They needed his special. I'm so fit for
his special sauce.
Sauce.
Oh,
What'd
that's
you
awesome.
do that you had to go to urgent care? That's no fun.
Oh, he's okay. Well, he's okay. He must be okay. He's here, and he just went to urgent care.
I was gonna say he's here.
Yeah.
He's not at the urgent care still.
No. So,
oh no, he got a piece of metal in his eye.
Oh no, that sucks. Don't get an MRI for a while then. Oof.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So,
hopefully they got it out and that you're okay.
Yep. Terry Marshall's here. Hi, thanks for being here.
Hi. Oh no, my bestie.
Good.
We have been besties since I was 13 years old.
Oh no shit, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
We had we sat together in freshman math. She was not a freshman. I was. And we were supposed to be separated because we talked too much.
No.
Instead, the teacher just moved us to the front.
To a different hall, to a different class.
She should have. That's what she should have done. But instead, she moved us to the front of the class, which just meant we did this the whole class. Hey, hey, everybody. Hey. Ah.
Oh.
So, yeah. It didn't do any good. And so now we've been besties for forever, the longest. And to 2013, we named Liverpalooza.
Nice.
You guys can figure that one out all on your own.
Mm-hmm.
What happened that summer? But yeah. Terry, thanks for coming on and listening.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you're like bringing in the guests, man, and the audience. You're bringing everything. I just bring stupid stories. That's all I bring.
Like just amazing. Speaking of stories,
Yes.
I don't know what's wrong with me lately.
Okay.
But I'm kind of burnt out on all my murder mysteries and my murder shows and all my true murder thingies.
Yes.
And I was on the Netflix and I was just perusing through shows and I ran across this show called Ugly Betty.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
And I have never watched it before and now I'm obsessed. So if anybody's ever watched Ugly Betty,
okay,
or if you haven't and you just want something totally and completely like brainless, like something that you can watch that you just don't even have to think about. You don't have to like be present for, but is stupid hilarious. Please watch this show. And how did I miss it all these years ago?
I don't know. I'm gonna tell the story, and I don't want you to judge me because I'm just a horrible person.
I don't judge you.
Well, I'm gonna chalk this up to that veteran sense of humor. Okay. Because I told you last week my roommates from Iraq were in town, right?
Yeah.
And so we're hanging out, whatever, and they went home the other day and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So was it Monday night? I get a phone call from my buddy Mark, and he is dying of laughter.
Oh, okay. Dying of laughter.
Dying of laughter. He's like peeing himself laughing. He's like, I had to tell somebody, and I knew that you would laugh at this and not judge me. And I said, oh. He goes, I want you to look at the #3 show on Netflix right now. And do you know what it was called?
Is it Ugly Betty?
No.
Oh, darn. Thought maybe I'd picked a winner. What is the #3
It's called
show right now?
Down with Love.
Oh, I saw that. It's the show about the people with the Down syndrome and finding love.
Yes.
So it's like a reality show for them, and they find love, and like they follow them through that. I haven't seen it, but I do have it in my watch list.
Okay, so I think it can go one of two ways, because it is a very sweet show. Like the auspice of it is very sweet and very whatever.
Well, it's like giving hope to people that have, differences.
Yep, and it's fine, and I'm all for that. I'm all for empowering people, and love has no bounds, and all. I really do genuinely believe that.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I think the producers are fucking with them, and here's why.
No. Oh.
Did you?
Is Spanky gonna have to write an email to somebody, like a stern email?
Okay, first off, they're Australia. It's from Australia. Pretty sure it's Australia. It might be England, but it's Australia. Pretty sure about it. 90% sure.
90% sure.
So, because everyone has an accent. So that makes it slightly funny to me when people have accents when I see somebody, right? Mm-hmm. When I see somebody with Down syndrome, people in Down syndrome in America have a certain speech pattern. Right? And I wouldn't even call it an accent. They just have a certain speech pattern. So that's what you expect.
And that's due to the fact that one of the characteristics of Down syndrome, and this is going to tell you guys a little bit about my past. My mother, when I was a kid, her job, that's what she specialized in, was mental health and MHMR. Yep. Mm-hmm. So one of their characteristics is they have a very large or thicker tongue.
Yes.
So it causes a specific speech pattern. Yes.
Right. So when you combine that with an Australian accent. Yes.
Well, see, like I said, I haven't watched it yet.
I'm not going to give away too much, but there's lots of like little innuendos of things that are kind of fucked up. When they're like, "Oh, I really want to meet somebody who's smart," and we're like, "Oh, come on." No. And there's lots of things that they put in there. Oh, hell yeah, are you down with love? And hell yeah, I'm down with love. It's so funny how they like. You gotta be kind of.
They're right there.
They're
on
scooching that. But here's the thing. Okay, the N-word. Okay, I am white as fucking Wonder Bread. I can't say the N-word. Right?
No.
Take somebody who's of African American descent, they can say it.
Yeah.
Right. So I believe that's the same kind of thing when it comes to people with, say, Down syndrome. They can say words that I can't say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's like when we had the comedian on, Brad Williams. He says like, we as little people can say midget or dwarf or whatever, but people of regular size have to say little people or it becomes offensive. So it's kind of, is it the same thing?
Well, and oh my God, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole too far. But okay, so like up here we have a big Native American population.
Good at the rabbit hole, though.
I know.
So good.
So here we have a big Native American population, right? It's one of the probably I don't know specifics, but we have big reservations in South Dakota. And I have a lot of friends who are Native American, and we very much commingle and everything, and it's kind of whatever up here, right? I have these two native buddies, and they call themselves Indians, right? Seems fine to me. You call yourself whatever you want. I'm going to call you what you want me to call you when it comes to that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I'm referring to him, and we're in the garage. We're kind of bullshitting, whatever. And my college student kids that were home, I was like, yeah, so my Indian buddies, and he's like. And we're all three of us are standing there, right? And my college kids walk through the garage, and they're like, he's like, you can't call them Indians. And my Indian buddies were like, yeah, he can. Like, he can call. We told him, you call us. We're his Indian buddies. Is how it works.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't think he should be able to say that. And they're like, we don't give a shit what you think. You know what I mean? Like, who are you, white 19-year-old,
to that whole perception thing?
Yeah,
you know?
right.
It's the way that the person perceives it. If you don't want to call them that, even if they've given you permission, that's on you.
I think they would probably respect that. They would respect that, but they would also kind of be like, don't be a bitch about it, dude. You know what I mean? Like, why you gotta be a little bitch about things? So I you know what? Like, it's if it's cool to them, it's cool to me, kind of whatever. It's just a really, and I understand also too, like, I've been to Australia. It's been 25 years or 20 some years, but it's, and I was there for like 4 days, so I'm not really counting it. But I know that things in Australia are different than the United States.
Oh yeah.
So what can be said can't be said. It just seems like it's really kind of pushing some borders. Like, if I was in charge,
it may not be. There
absolutely,
it may be completely acceptable.
Absolutely,
So
and it is. Like I said, the auspice of the show is very sweet. It's just the intro, and he's laughing, and I'm laughing, and I'm like, I shouldn't be laughing at this. So
it's one of those ones where you're like, all right, I just secured my seat.
It's very tongue in cheek. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be laughing at this, but it's funny, and he's laughing, and both of my wife and his fiance are like,
laugh at so much stuff that I probably shouldn't laugh.
Right.
At, so don't feel bad.
And my wife was on the couch, and I have him on speakerphone because I'm too deaf to talk on the regular phone. And he is in the same, because he's an artilleryman as well, so he can't fucking hear anything.
Yeah,
so he's you can tell he's on speakerphone, and we're both watching the intro because we're laughing about it together. And then my wife is saying, they're parroting each other. Oh my God, I can't believe you two. You're just, I'm like, I think it's funny. So.
Well,
so if you want, and it's like number 3 on Netflix, whatever. It's a cute show. I watched an episode or two. It's fine. But gotta be careful.
I've been trying to watch different shows. I just got really burned out on, like, I've seen every single one of all the true crime things and every single NCIS and every single CIS and this and that, and I was just like, I'm over it. I want to watch something else. And I stumbled upon Ugly Betty, and it's really stupid funny. It is stupid. It's ridiculous stupid, but it's super funny. And they're really mean to each other in it, which is probably why I think it's so funny.
I do appreciate that when people are mean to each other. And is that the one where she's like, does she have like dude roommates and stuff?
No. She lives with her sister and her nephew and her dad, and she goes to work for a fashion magazine as an executive assistant. But she's got, like, it's America Ferrera. That's the main character.
Oh, yes.
Like, glasses and braces. And she's supposed to be ugly because she doesn't fit into the fashion world, like the standard for the fashion world. But
she's also. It reminds me of those like '90s shows where they have like the ugly girl. And then they brush her hair, and it's like Jessica Biel or something. Well, they put like Jessica Biel in like thick glasses, and they're like, call her like the ugly girl. Yeah, okay.
Well, they haven't princessed her up or anything, but it's funny. The whole thing.
PMS Miami. What is PMS Miami?
New on Netflix. PMS Miami. Hi,
Spanky.
Where do you find this stuff?
I don't know. I kind of want to look at that now too. What is PMS Miami? Anyway, back to the
Terry now Terry.
Oh, new show idea. Yes, we had a bunch of
new show idea.
We had a bunch of funny show ideas the other day, and then we sobered up.
Miami, if that is like an
doesn't exist yet.
Female like police force, and they all sync up
like once a month. They turn into like they do like superhero powers.
That would be great.
Yes.
That would be great. I'm down for that.
I think what we
on
should
that
have is a
show.
reality show. Okay, a reality TV show. Hear me out.
Here, I'm hearing you.
And you know how, remember back in the day they used to have like cheaters and stuff? Remember that show,
the
Cheaters?
one where they would go find them and follow them around.
But they
catch
had
them
like
and
professional investigators. No, we don't need that.
No,
we need
just
those.
Need a bunch of white women.
We need those white women who are like really good at like fucking scalping people on Facebook and shit. Right?
That's me.
Yep. And I just didn't know
find
for sure,
anybody.
but I'm just
I can
saying, like,
find
yeah, we need that as a show. We need
I'm
that as a
down.
show.
Somebody
Also-
will produce that shit. I'm down.
Also, this is multi-stepped, okay? But have you ever played this game with your buddies? Like, if I win the lottery, then I'm gonna blank. You ever play that game? Mark and I had this great idea. So Mark was my roommate in Iraq. I think I said that. He was I had two roommates, Kelly and Mark. And he actually lived with me for about a year and a half. And, we would...
Did y'all set anything on fire?
No, not at my house. Anyway, we're digressing. Okay. This is post arson. Anyway, so we caught a hayfield on fire, but that was at Kelly's house. And that's a long story. It's a story for a different day.
All right,
Anyway, so
television show.
We got to win. First, I got to win like the Powerball or Mega Millions or something. Okay.
But you got to win something in order for this to become a thing.
Or I need to come into lots of money.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you to think Duck Dynasty.
Okay.
With drunk veterans who win the Powerball. And we're going to call it Powerballin'.
And then they just
follow us around.
Follow you around.
Just follow us around and watch the shenanigans ensue. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Mm-hmm. And then we're just going to be like, it's going to be like those YouTube guys who I don't know, make a giant fucking tower and drop anvils on cars.
Did you see the one where the guys filled that swimming pool with those tiny little things,
the Orbeez,
balls,
yep. Mm-hmm.
And then they filled it with water, and then they got all. Oh, that was so fun.
Yep, and
I want to do that.
See, and we're gonna do that stuff, but it's gonna be drunk veterans with machine guns. It's gonna be like the Black Rifle Coffee guys, but we're cooler and more inclusive.
Oh yeah,
and not trying to pitch a bunch of bullshit coffee or something, t-shirts or whatever. No. I ain't into that. I ain't trying to pitch a bunch of bullshit. I just want to get drunk with my buddies and have cameras follow us around and do dumb shit and call it Powerballing.
There you go.
And we'll do things.
Me and my bestie, we had an idea for a show. Somebody needed to follow us around on our road trips, and just film us. Because we're insane. Yep. And we just do the dumbest, craziest stuff.
Lifted Toyota, Costas, and Yeti coolers. Those two, we'll do anything. I will probably, actually, you know what? I've got an old pickup in my driver right now I'm fixing up. I'll fucking put that on a giant lift with some 44s under it and crush cars. And okay, so we were looking and, you take a front wheel drive car and it will just drive with that power pack, right? And then make one of those wheels, like a big hamster wheel, and drive it around. Shit like that. You know what I mean? Shit like that. We will have the money and the time to engineer such things.
Just to engineer the most ridiculous shit. And
yes. And maybe that's what we'll do each show. We'll have a combination of West Coast Choppers and Duck Dynasty and Jackass and the Black Rifle Coffee Company guys, and we'll call it Powerballing.
Well, I know I've told you about the Tammy Joe and Sheila show that I did. Okay, and so you know how we always talk about redneck DIY, and we always have all these things that we supposedly make or do, but we never actually really make or do them.
Yes.
I would love to go back to all those videos and write down all those things that while we were drunk, we said we were going to make or do, like the birdhouse out of crushed beer cans, or redo the White Snake video on cars that are on blocks in someone's front yard.
Yes.
And I would just love to go back and find and make a list of all those crazy ass DIY things that we said we were going to, and just do them.
Yep. Patrick said, "Are you sure you want evidence of your shenanigans? It could be admissible in court." First off.
Oh, fuck yeah.
First off, we're going to have lawyers to edit things.
Make sure that none of it can put us in jail.
Right. And we're not going to, Okay, if I make a car that's a giant wheel that's powered by like fucking a power pack out of a Toyota Corolla or some shit, I'm not
And
gonna.
running around in an empty field somewhere.
Yeah, because I'm gonna
fine.
be
You
a
can do
fucking
that.
billionaire, and I'm gonna
We're not going to kill people. We're not going to do anything illegal.
on purpose.
Yeah.
On purpose.
We're not going to set out to
And
kill anyone.
they don't. You don't put rich people in jail anyway. This is America. Where have you been? Like rich people don't go to jail in this country. What are you talking about? That's dumb. As long as I don't have information on the Clintons, I'm fine.
Yeah, we haven't brought any classified documents home.
No, and I'm not going to either.
No,
Fuck that. It sounds like too much
I
work.
haven't. I've looked in all my stuff. I don't have anything classified in my paperwork.
I don't think
Speaking
that I do.
of, I purge cleaned. I don't know why this past weekend I got some crazy wild hair and I purge cleaned my room, just my room. I haven't even ventured into the rest of the house. And we're talking like 6 trash bags and I don't know how many bags of books that I donated to the library and just and clothes.
Yup.
I got rid of so much clothes, y'all. I have 3 closets full of clothes that I don't even wear. I rotate the same 6 t-shirts out every week for work.
Oh.
And I really did. I got rid of a bunch of stuff. You people should be proud of me.
Well, good. I'm happy at you. I'm happy at you for
It was a little
that.
stressful. It was a little stressful because I was like, well, maybe I'll wear this again. And then I was like, who am I kidding? I haven't worn it in 3 years. Why am I holding on to it?
Right.
I did. I got rid of a bunch of stuff. Huge stack of clothes.
I need to do that. I need to do that so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it was time.
I've actually so I had a problem for a while. I was a large, and then I got larger, and so all of my favorite shirts were larges, and I have a hard time just going and throwing shit away. Right.
Well, I donate mine to the hospice,
Even
the local hospice. Like
I had these ideas that I was going to be like small again. You know what I mean? Like that there's a spot in my mind. Like I bet someday I'll be under 200 pounds. I could probably.
Yeah, I gave that one up.
I finally gave that one up and got rid of. I didn't. Really, I did the same thing. But so when my kids were, Tori was leaving to go to North Dakota. She had a bunch of stuff she took to Salvation Army. So I did that. I went through and took a bunch of my larges and pulled them out.
Keep all my concert shirts and I did keep all my military shirts that I don't wear anymore. And I cut just like the part out that has what it said on it.
Yep.
And I'm not doing it myself because that would take way too much time and like patience, but I'm mailing them off to this place that I found on the internet and I'm having a blanket made with them.
Okay. I was just going to say, there's a lady
being repurposed.
There's a lady up here and I don't know if she, we've just given her. So when my brother-in-law passed away, and this is before my wife and I got married, but they went through and had a bunch of his t-shirts made into like pillows and, pillows and quilts. And they just took like the front like this and like a square.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm sure whatever they did with the rest of it. And it's like a blanket on the back. They're really, really nice.
Well, I had some of my granddad's like Mexican shirts that he had.
Yes.
He had these shirts from Mexico, like these really cool ones that are button ups. And we like sewed the buttons shut and then had them made into like pillows.
Yep.
So,
or like,
each one of the kids can kind of have a little something that was their
Yeah.
great grandpa's or great. Oh, he was a great grandpa.
Yep. That's cool.
So
that's super
that's
cool.
cool. At least it's being repurposed and it's not just hanging in a closet somewhere.
Yep. And like I said, with Nick, they did a bunch of that stuff. Most of mine weren't really that. There's like North Face shirts and shit. You know what I mean? Like whatever. Like I can donate.
I have a hard
them to
time getting rid of
Salvation
like
Army.
my concert shirts. I love my concert shirts.
Yep, I could see that because they got.
I don't buy them anymore though. Now I'm on koozies.
I've got some like deployment shirts and some like I actually used to wear it on the show. I'm just too fat to fit in it now. My the one I got at aircrew school. I had a couple other ones that I've lost over the years, or ones that I got like in Iraq or something. I got like the Baghdad Harley Davidson with like, and it's all in Arabic and shit. You know what I mean?
I have my basic training shirt. I have one from BNOC. I have one. Well, when I went through, it was PLDC.
Yeah.
I have ones from all my different units whenever we had like company shirts made and stuff,
Yep.
all that
Mhm.
stuff, or different shirts I got from other units whenever I was off training. Because I was an instructor for Combat Lifesavers course when I was in Germany, prepping everybody that was deploying, and so a lot of the units would like. I
Here's
get
a
a coin
shirt.
and a T-shirt.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, here's
Yep.
a shirt.
Here's a shirt.
And so I took all that stuff, and that's what I'm getting made into.
See, that's cool. Yeah, I should probably do that. Mine, I have all that stuff in like duffel bags in my basement.
Yeah, because I figured that way now I've got the space because it was
Yeah.
all up in my closet in on a shelf, and I'm like, okay, well that's just a waste of space.
Yep.
And so, I'm having something done with it. So yeah, I lost my mind this weekend. In other words,
But that's cool though. That's cool. That's good for you. I need to do that more. Well, we went Friday. We went up. The kids had their first soccer games of the season.
Oh, that's right. It's
Yep.
soccer season for
And
the babies.
we played one of the toughest teams in the state.
How'd they
It's called Aberdeen
do?
Central, and the girls, they were ranked 2. They're second ranked team in the state. Our team, Spearfish, is unranked in both. Boys and girls are both unranked. And I think there's only like 15 schools in the state that are AA. And I think we're ranked like 14th or 15th in girls. We're rebuilding is a good word for it. We have a new coach. We don't have any seniors. It's kind of we're basically everyone's written them off, right? Just go have fun, kids.
Yeah.
We won 1-0 against the number 2 team in the state.
Woo!
Yeah.
Look at them go.
Spearfish, the girls haven't beat haven't beat Aberdeen Central in like 16 years or some shit like that.
That's so cool. Yay them.
Yep. So they were super excited about it. I guess that must have been a fun bus ride home.
I bet.
And then the boys are ranked, I think they're ranked number 7, and Aberdeen Central is ranked number 3 or 4. And the boys beat them 2-0. So
good for them.
the funny thing to me, this is the funny thing to me.
Yes.
Is they were okay. So the way we do it here in South Dakota, like all of like the really far games, because South Dakota is big, right?
Yeah.
It, like to Aberdeen, that's like a 6.5 hour drive, probably 7.5 hours on a bus. Okay. Yeah.
If you guys can't tell, I have flies in my room that
Yeah.
drive me crazy.
It's fine. So anyway, they rode like 6.5. But so Aberdeen was supposed to play in Spearfish. Well, since the motorcycle rally, they couldn't find any hotel rooms.
Oh yeah.
So they had 2 options. Okay. They could take the loss. They could forfeit because they weren't going to come, or they could stay in the school. The school had set up like cots and stuff for them, and like had like showers and locker rooms and stuff. And they were like, we'll charter in some food and stuff, and you guys can stay here. And they're like, nah, we don't do that. We're Aberdeen Central. We don't do that.
What?
So what they did, instead of taking the L's, they convinced us, Spearfish, that if we went there and played them, they would play here the next like 3 years or something like that. 3 or 4 years. So they did a drug deal because they didn't want to take the loss. They didn't want to lose to Spearfish.
But they didn't want to stay somewhere that wasn't bougie enough for them.
Yup. So guess what?
Oh
We
my
went up there.
God.
They got to come here the next like 5 years, whatever the deal was. And they still took a loss to Spearfish. So get some
karma.
Oh, it was great. It was so fun because like the people like in the stands were like angry, especially the girls' game. They were like mad, and I was like, "Fuck it, play better." That's what you play better. I don't tell you, dude. Like play better. And we have this girl. Our goalie's a freshman. And nobody really expected a whole lot from her, and she had a clean sheet, and she had some amazing saves.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Don't you love it when everything just kind of falls together like that.
And the boys game, the boys game was 0-0 to like 6 or 7 minutes left, and Spearfish scored 2 goals, like bam bam. One was off a corner, and then one was like 2.5 minutes later. So we were up. We went from being tied 0-0 to we won 2-0 in like 5 minutes. It was great. So yeah, it was really cool. Fun to watch.
My grandson starts golf this year. So we'll see how that goes.
That's exciting. I've always been I've never been a golfer.
Tryouts are in February. So school starts on Monday. And so they have all of the rest of August. They have September, October, November, December, and January in school to learn all their basics, get all the stuff down that they, look for in tryouts in order to make the team. And he's already, kind of been working on it a little bit over the summer. But yeah, he decided he wanted to play golf, and I'm like, cool with that.
That's awesome.
You go, boy.
That's cool.
Play golf. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I have no idea how to play golf, but I am down for him doing it.
Our youngest son came to us yesterday, actually.
Oh.
And so yesterday morning, he had to get his like 6th grade shots or whatever. He starts middle school this year. And he had to get, I don't know, whatever shots they have to get. And on the way to the clinic to get a shot, I took the day off because it's my birthday.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting on the couch, and my wife texts me. She's like, "Can Gabriel run cross country?" And I was like, I don't know, can he? I don't give a shit if he does or not.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, "Well, he kind of wants to run cross country." And I was like, "Well, we need to buy him shoes, and he needs to get a sports physical." And she's like, "Well, we can get a sports physical while he's here. It's not a big deal. It's like another page of paper we fill out. They touch his balls, and then he can run cross country." I was like, "Cool, good for you, buddy."
Yay.
So then we went to the shoe store, got him some runners, and he started cross country this morning.
Good for him.
Yeah, I think he figured out that it sucks. I ran. I was a cross country runner. Like I ran all summer. Like I was scrawny. I was not a big dude.
I was a short distance runner and hurdles because I got legs up to my chin. So no, I probably should have done long distance running because I found out later in life that I'm actually really good at it because I was doing half marathons and doing pretty good. And I should have figured that out a long time ago. I actually enjoy long distance runs now. Had no idea it was fun before.
Yeah. See,
but they always said because I had such long legs, I should do sprints. And so I did. In high school, that's what I ran. I ran sprints.
Yeah. Well, he's learned. I think he'll do fine. He'll do fine. Voluntary running and having fun doing it is weird to me. Yeah. I used to love it. And then I got hurt. Then I got hurt, and then my knees
in the service. I hated running in the military. I guess it's because they made us.
The problem with me, especially when I was going through like boot camp, because I'd run like 40, 50, 60 miles a week when I was like in high school.
What's wrong with you?
Then I went to boot camp, and like it's almost was worse on me because I was running slower. And I was running shorter distances.
Yeah.
And real choppy. It was really hard on my legs because I was used to striding out and running 10Ks and half marathons. So to go run 3 miles, what is this? This is fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and then so I think I did this thing where what at least Marine Corps is big on, and the Army kind of is. But I went and I was trying my hardest to get a 300 PFT. And in the Marine Corps, that's 20 pull-ups, 100 sit-ups or crunches. And then I don't remember what the time was for my 3-mile run. But my run was not a problem at all. My run was never a problem in the Marine Corps. Crunches, or as long as Marines are counting other Marines' crunches, you get 100. It's just the rule of it. And then pull-ups, 20 pull-ups is tough. That's tough.
And I can't do one. So
I knocked out my 20, and you know what I got for a 300 PFT? The expectation that the next quarter I would get a 300 PFT. And that was it. Yeah. It looked good on my pro and con marks. It helped me. I got meritoriously promoted to corporal. They put me up for the corporal for the NCO, the quarter board or whatever, and I got meritoriously promoted.
Guess who never got a 300?
You?
Never.
Most of the military?
Never even tried. Not once.
Right. But I didn't really.
I tried.
I got like a certificate. I got like a letter of accommodation or some shit.
Look, I tried my best to do my best, and that's what I did.
Yep.
And that was passing 95% of the time.
Yep.
But I also came off of like.
Branko said he was a soccer and baseball athlete.
Soccer and I played soccer when I was younger. I was a goalie.
I didn't. It wasn't really available.
I was taller than everybody else, and so they thought
broke 200 twice. You know, and like
I was 5'9" by the time I was 12 years old.
Wow.
So they thought I should be a basketball player.
Absolutely.
Bad idea.
Yep.
Horrible. I could not play basketball. I went to basketball camp every summer. I tried, did not make the team. I was a horrible basketball player. horrible. But I did all the other sports. I played softball, ran track. I was on dance team. I did a little bit of cheerleading, but I was way too tall for that.
Yep.
I tried everything. My parents put me in everything. I was on swim team, but I think they put me in everything because I had so much energy. I know that's shocking, right? Very shocking.
I had I ran.
Want to wear me out.
I was in track, cross country, and swimming. I did swimming, and I was fine.
I love swimming.
I wasn't very good. I was not what you'd call a swimmer. Like it was pretty bad, but I did it. It was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, and the coach was amazing. Our coach was great, and Mike McWilliams was his name. And I like the meets.
Olympics in the backstroke and swimming.
Nice.
And then broke my wrist. So, yeah, couldn't go forward with it. But yeah, I love to swim.
Cause said he started to run cross country because of a girl that he liked was on the girls' team. He joined the diving team because of a girl, and gymnastics because of a girl. So he has lots of sports experience.
I see a common denominator in that sports experience.
That's kind of why I was a swimmer. Well, I got a job at the pool. So there's a water park in town, and it's got that's where we had our swim meets and stuff. So it has a Olympic sized pool in it, and then it's got an indoor slide, an outdoor slide, and a wave pool, and it's a big water park kind of thing. And I got a job there as a lifeguard. I could swim good enough just off the bat to pass my lifeguard test. Well, and then so the swim coach is like, "Have you ever thought about swimming?" I was like, "I thought about it, and I thought it sounds dumb as fuck. Sorry about it." Like, and then all the hot girls I worked with at the pool were all swimmers.
So you thought,
I was like the only guy that was a lifeguard that wasn't on the swim team.
Oh.
And so I was like, I'll give it a shot, I guess, whatever. And I didn't hate it. I rather enjoyed it. And it was fun. I never had some grandeur. I never thought I was really all that good. I was never on any of the relays. I didn't do all that great. I could barely do a flip turn the first year, but I ended up swimming for 3 years, and I got pretty decent at it by then. Yeah.
Yay! I love swimming, but living in a town with 2 rivers and a water park, it's easy.
He said I was a goalkeeper because I got sick of running in practice.
Oh my God!
Nice.
So they put you at goalkeeper so you didn't have to, because you hated to run. That's
right.
good. Well, hey, we all have our reasons why we get where we get.
Yeah. Moose, that's right. He was a player. He was a fucking player.
Just a player.
You know what? I did
that
really
was
enjoy.
Cause was a player.
Mm-hmm. But I ran track and cross country because it was fun. To me, it was fun. I really enjoyed the running. I ran distance and track, and I did enjoy it.
I love track.
I like the track meets.
Was my favorite.
Track meets was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, track meets were always fun.
Yeah.
And you got out of class early and sometimes out of school for the whole day.
Yep.
I was all for whatever got me out of a class or out of school. I was not, in case you guys were wondering, a spectacular student.
No, I was not either.
I never got a 4.0 until I went to college in my 30s.
Yeah, he says he can hold his breath for 6 minutes. That's amazing. I cannot.
Jesus, Heath, what else can you do?
I get out of breath talking. I can't even. Maybe I could
climb
probably.
The stairs at work 5 times today and nearly died.
Yep.
I am not in the peak of my fitness in my 50s.
I said he used to free dive.
What?
I want to learn how to. I want to get better at free riding, where you go like in the desert.
There's a documentary, and I want to say it's on the Netflix, a free diving documentary of like a big free diving like event deal. I just saw it last night. I may have had some gummies, so I don't remember exactly what it was. But I saw the start of it and I thought, oh, I can't watch this right now. That would be way too much. I've got to watch something that doesn't require brain function. But there was some kind of a free diving event docu-series or something.
I played second base too. Bronco City played baseball. He played second base. Would have been some.
Oh, I was a catcher.
See, I tried playing catcher. I'm glad I quit because my knees already sucked anyway. But I played second base. Actually, I played pretty competitive softball for a while. And I played
I
second
was a
base then too.
catcher because
Mainly
I
because I couldn't throw.
throw.
Yep.
Yeah, I could only throw as far as getting it to back to the pitcher. That was about as good as I was. They
Yep.
did not want me throwing that ball anywhere.
Yep. That
I
when
could
I
catch
played
it,
when I
couldn't throw
played
it.
actually, you know what? I actually played a lot of outfield too for baseball. Softball, I was okay. We played pretty competitively, and then I kind of turned into like old man drunk league softball. And I don't know. I actually got a phone call the other day from a buddy of mine. He's like, "Hey, you still play softball?" And I was like, "Man, I haven't played in a long time, dude." He's like, "Yeah, but we really need somebody." And that's when I was in Colorado. Thankfully, I was in Colorado
Oh yeah.
because I can see the field from my front door. So I can't be like, dude, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to make it. Like, it's literally across the street from my house. So I can't be like, come on, man. Dude. Because before I lived like in a different town, I had to drive down there. And, you know, it was a lot of
Now it's
hubbubaloo.
like,
Now it's like
excuse
literally
me.
across the street. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I
Um,
play volleyball too, but I quit that because I kept getting bruises on my arms from hitting the volleyball. I didn't like that.
Yep.
So
Um,
after a year, I
he
was like,
he
"Dang."
said he's coaching softball this fall. And see,
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna coach little Maddie's softball team or soccer team. I want to do that. I'm gonna try coaching her.
That's cool.
Yep. Were you in Aurora? No. I don't even know where Aurora is.
In Colorado,
Oh, Aurora, Colorado.
I know where Aurora, Colorado is.
It's like around Denver, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
In
probably
that
drove
general
through
area.
it. I probably drove through it. We spent when I was in Colorado last, we really stayed in. Well, we were kind of in like Erie, that area, Erie through Boulder.
Yeah.
We stayed in
Like
Loveland.
I lived in Arvada as a kid,
Yep.
and I know the Aurora area.
I'm sure I drove
because
through
of
it.
living
Well, it's
in
right off the interstate, I
Arvada.
think. Pretty sure I drove through it.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably did.
And then
At some point.
then we went up to Estes Park, and then we stayed in Blackhawk that night, and then we did kind of south, like by Colorado Springs and all that. Boulder's an interesting town. I don't know if I like it or not. It's so cool, like some of the stuff, and some of the stuff like no. I like going to Trader Joe's.
See, I have a friend that lives in Mead, and she works in Boulder.
In Lead?
Mead,
Mead.
M-E-A-D,
I don't
Colorado.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody actually lives in Boulder. It's so expensive.
It's expensive, ridiculous
Yes.
expensive.
Yes.
Colorado in general is ridiculous expensive.
He's in the
Colorado is like the Hawaii of the mainland.
Yes.
It's so expensive.
He's in the oil fields near Wyoming, so it must be up like I don't know the name of that town up there now.
Oil fields.
I had
near
a
Wyoming.
couple buddies of mine that went to work in North Dakota, and then they went down there to
Mhm.
Colorado to do some like training.
My dad worked in Wyoming one summer, and that's how we ended up traveling all up that way.
Rock
and
Springs,
then we went
Wyoming.
to
Yeah, Rock Springs is
do a
cool.
bunch of stuff. I spent like a whole summer living in a tent in Wyoming while my dad worked up there.
Yeah, he worked in the oil fields up there, didn't he?
No, he
Jason?
was an electrician.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what he did or who he worked for, but I mean, it was when I was a kid, so I don't remember none of that crap. I was never interested in what my dad did when I was a kid.
My wife's family
He helped build
is from down there.
an Arby's
I like
from
Arby's.
Wyoming.
From Wyoming, yeah. Like out in the middle,
Oh,
fucking
cool.
nowhere, Wyoming. Like west of Lusk.
Isn't everything in the middle of nowhere in Wyoming? I mean,
Yes, unless
unless
it's on the
I was
corners.
gonna say,
Unless it's on the corners.
there's-
Like if you
yeah.
go down to like, Cheyenne is,
yeah,
but that's right on the Colorado
Big.
border, Colorado and Nebraska
Yeah.
border or whatever that is. And then there's like, well, Gillette's right in the middle.
oh yeah,
Well, Rock Springs is they're kind of, the corners are empty. No, they've got, Cheyenne. And then what's in the other
Mhm.
corner, in the other southern corner? That's like you're going, that might even be Rock Springs, isn't it? When you're getting ready to go into Utah. And then, Jackson Hole's over there too. That's pretty cool.
My sister went there.
Mhm,
They
that's
went
pretty.
there for one of their anniversaries to Jackson Hole.
So on
She
the
loved it.
edges. Everything's on the
Yeah.
edges. Nothing's in the middle. But my wife's family's from this little town called fucking like Lance Creek or something. It's just like literally it's
It's like a Hallmark movies town.
no. Nope, because Hallmark movie towns have buildings in them. And people
this doesn't
who
even have
aren't
buildings?
actually related. Like there's like 3 buildings and they're all related. They're like 30 miles from Lusk, that's the big town is
Lord.
Lusk. Yeah. That's like Hallmark movie town.
That's Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like the big town that's like 30 miles away where I have to go to like Family Dollar and the grocery store.
When
So-
I went to Vermont, I swear the town that I was in, it was like a Hallmark movie town.
Yep.
It had all the cute little like quaint shops and it had all the little cute little restaurants that everybody
yeah.
knew everybody.
Lusk doesn't
And it
have
was
that.
also cute. And then it had all the little, snow lifts and
Those aren't Wyoming
things and
towns.
the stuff. And it was so cute.
Those aren't Wyoming towns. Wyoming Hallmark towns are full of bars and like pizza joints and a Family Dollar or
Yeah.
Dollar General and a
Dollar
Subway.
General.
Every
Used to be a
little
great
shithole
place
town
for
in Wyoming,
Dollar General.
every little shithole town in Wyoming has a Family Dollar, a Dollar General, and a Subway. That's it.
Wow.
And like the local bar, grill, arena, fucking name it. It does all the things. So, what's up, David?
You
Thanks
go
for
into
showing
the
up, man.
bar and get everything.
I have been in a bar, in that kind of bar, and there has been the volunteer fire department, and this is all in the exact same time. Okay, the volunteer fire department was having a fundraiser on the patio. Okay,
Uh-huh.
there were it was like a dart league in the back, and then in
Mhm.
the front was a 15-year-old little girl's birthday party, all in the same
Oh,
bar.
Nice.
And it was probably about the same square footage as that little place that you were at. Also a liquor store, also sold candy bars and like C-store kind of stuff, and had 2 gas pumps out front.
That's nice.
Yep.
That's nice.
So, yeah.
And some chick came back from the big city and ran into Jim
Nope.
Bob.
No, none of that happened.
who
None of
was
those
the
happened.
farrier
None of those things
there,
happened.
And she fell in love with him and never wanted to go back to the big city again.
No.
And it was wonderful.
But they
No?
did have Tombstone pizzas that you could buy for $12.99.
Oh, cooked or
They do
frozen?
it cooked. It was still they cooked it for you.
Oh, so they
Yeah.
cooked you a tombstone pizza.
Yep.
So they didn't like make a pizza. They just
Cause is right.
ripped it out of the cellophane.
They do that so the 15-year-olds can smoke and drink. He's not wrong.
Wow.
Actually, you can't smoke in bars anymore. Well, I think you can in Wyoming. Pretty sure about it.
Not here in
Not in
Texas
South
anymore.
Dakota.
That's the one thing the Texans have
I'm
stopped.
gonna look. I think you can.
Which
in
I'm not
Wyoming.
actually angry about because I kind of enjoy the fact that I don't come home smelling like an ashtray anymore. Because drunk showering has never been my favorite thing. And as I
Oh,
get
yeah.
older, drunk showering is more and more dangerous. So it's good that you can't smoke in bars anymore.
So in Wyoming, there are no smoking restrictions for private workplaces, schools, or child care facilities, restaurants, bars, casinos, gaming establishments, retail boards, and retail stores and recreational cultural facilities. You can smoke anywhere in Wyoming. You can smoke in.
So it's like madmen there. They're
Yeah.
just like
Work-
flicking ashes.
There's
and
no
ashtrays at their
restrictions in
desk at work.
schools or child care facilities. You can smoke in a
So they can
daycare.
still have like a
in
smoking
Wyoming.
teacher's lounge in Wyoming.
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm going to say this.
Not public, right?
Sure.
Can't be like a public school. It have to be a private school.
Yes. You can't smoke in a government building. But okay, here's the thing, and this is where I think there's a lot of disparity in this. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people in South Dakota were mad when this came down. Because it came out as a smoking ban.
Uh-huh.
But in all reality, it's written as a tobacco ban.
Uh-huh.
And good luck finding a place in Wyoming and somebody not having a chaw in.
Ah.
So there's
Well, I
really
mean, even the military folks blow that one away because you're
Yup.
gonna find chief or first sergeant or somebody dipping
Uh-huh.
and spitting in a cup somewhere.
which is whatever. It's literally whatever. I don't care. But I
Oh, it wasn't
think
whatever
that's
to me when I
why-
couldn't smoke in my office, and then you sure as fuck better not be dipping in yours. I'm petty. I am petty patty when it comes to that shit. You
I mean,
better
I'm pretty
take your ass
petty
outside.
too. I'm not saying I'm not.
I'm mean.
But what I am saying is I think that keeps especially in Wyoming. Wyoming is very much live and let live. Don't fucking tell me how to live my life. Kind of, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really give a shit what you do. You just don't tell them what to do, kind of thing. And I think that's...
Wyoming is in the middle of goddamn nowhere.
It is. I love Wyoming for that.
I would like to visit it when it's not snowing. Or
you have
when
like
it's
a month
just snowing a little bit.
Then depends on
Just
where
a
you
little.
want to go and be. Like, if you want to go through like Lusk or Torrington or some shit, like if I drive from Colorado to like my house, super easy. It's like 6 hours to nothing.
Super snowy, and then screw that.
Yeah. That's what I
don't
mean.
like cold, and I don't like a lot of snow. And I will visit, but I am not staying there.
No.
Just saying.
Well, it's about 5 till. We have our awesome guest has shown up.
What?
So we will take about 2 minutes. Well, let's take about a 10-minute break, and we'll listen to some more Mark Ridge and Darianne Lee. So we'll take about a 7-minute break.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. We'll get everything set up, and we'll be back with our guest, Jack Hill, here in about 7 minutes. So thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Shots.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
I come from a lifetime of hard labor and dirty hands. Holes in the soles of both of my boots and grease stains on my pants. I never laid eyes on a silver spoon, Lord, I never had a glance. It ain't a high-class living, got my weed and ribbon, so I really don't give a damn. When it comes to the hard times, yeah, buddy, I've seen them all. Well, I've spent my nights in some busted dives, drank a river of alcohol. And I've broken my back harvest time, working 90-hour weeks. Well, I ain't a rich man, I ain't no rich man, but damn, I wanna be. They say that money won't make you happy. Let me give it a try. 'Cause I've been working like a dog in the summer heat, going broke on overtime. Oh, I sing my song for the working folk. Go on and raise your beer with me. Sing, I ain't a rich man, I ain't no rich man, but damn, I wanna be. But when I finally break these shackles and I ain't counting out these dimes, when I can play my songs all night long and leave this job behind, you can bet you can find me grinning on the day I'm finally free, singing, I ain't a rich man, I ain't no rich man, but Saying I ain't no rich man. I ain't no rich man, but damn, I wanna be.
Tear down every wall. Light it up, watch it fall. Boy, you're getting good at making me feel like nothing at all. And you're telling me now that everything's all my fault. You can blame it on me. Blame it on me. Drive out past that county line. Look at the stars, tell 'em that you're out of my life. Nothing that I did was ever right. And I got a feeling the weather's changing tonight. You can blame it on me. Blame it on me. Tell all your friends, tell your church, tell the town how all I did was break you down. When you close your eyes at night, you'll know I'm gone. You can blame it on me. Blame it on me. Tell all your friends, tell your church, tell the town how all I did was break you down. When you close your eyes at night, you'll know I'm gone, gone, gone. Can blame it on me. Blame it on me. Tear down every wall.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
That's beautiful.
Hey everybody, we're back. We're back with our guest Jack Hill. So hope you guys like the music, some Mark Ridge and some Darian Lee. But now we're shifting gears. So Jack, we're gonna start out kind of with some of your background. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from. You know, you got some military service. You want to talk about that stuff. Whatever you want to talk about, this is your chance to introduce yourself.
Sweet. So I'm actually so right now I'm visiting family in Massachusetts, which is actually where I was born. And then through the Army, I kind of bounced around. I was in Fort Hood, Texas for a little while, not stationed there. We were there for a little bit doing our MOB, and then I just fell in love with Texas and would go back and visit. And oddly enough, a lot of my bouncing around has all been like through friends in the military that I always had someplace to go. So between like Texas, places in North Carolina, some places in Georgia and Louisiana is where I've done like most of my travel. But I always, for the most part, kind of had home station back in Massachusetts. That was for a little while. I'm now with Cavalry out on the West Coast, and I've been in for 11 years now. Yeah, 11 years now. And yeah, I mean, I've loved it. It's funny because it's one of those things where a lot of my old mentors are getting out, and you know, they're like, you know, hey bud, are you sure you want to stay in? I'm like, I don't want to go nowhere. Like, and people ask me all the time, they're like, you know, so you really like doing it? I'm like, I don't want to say that the Army saved me, but I will say that I wouldn't be me without it.
Right.
Like, it's one of those things where even on the worst days, I know the day I take off that uniform, I'm going to be a sad panda. I'm going to be a sad, sad panda.
There's days you certainly miss it. I think everybody in the audience, it's like hung up the hat, if you will. You get days you miss it. And then there's days where I don't know, I get out of bed and I sound like a popcorn shit bag in a microwave, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad I'm done. So,
yeah.
But
the ribs, the lower back, the joints, everything.
But I think, I really think, and this is, I got medically retired, so I don't have a choice. But I really think once you kind of eclipse 10 years, you're in for 20.
Yeah.
You're halfway done. You might as well stay and get a little bit of retirement and whatever. And you like it enough to have re-enlisted a couple times. You know, it's not like it's like, well, you know,
that or you've been duped enough that you've
depends on what you do. So you said you're with Cav then?
Yes, I'm with Cav now. Yep.
Okay, and you're a tanker, right?
No, I'm a Cav Scout.
Okay, cool.
Funny hat gang.
Funny hat gang.
Could be worse. Could be way worse.
Yeah.
So you're not.
Could be NBC.
So you're not partaking in National Airborne Day then. So
unfortunately, no. Like, I love my airborne boys, and girls, but no, I unfortunately do not have my wings. I wish I did.
You know, you're talking about your lower back and your knees already. I don't like it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I always joke with people that, like, you know, by the time that we're old, I mean, with the way medical technology is going, it's going to be at the point where, like, you know, I'm going to be half cybernetic from like the neck down. That
would be cool, actually.
Right? Yeah, I'd go for that. They've already replaced enough of my joints. They might as well make them electronic.
Right.
Yeah. If you go replace them, at least like give me an upgrade.
Yeah. No
right.
Shit, huh?
Serious.
Right.
I'd like to be Wonder Woman or Bionic Woman or whatever.
Well, I'm also a cyberpunk nerd, so me in my head.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Get the old steampunk. Get it all bronzed. You want to be half bronzed and shit? That'd be cool.
No, cyberpunk. I mean, steampunk would be pretty sweet too, but yeah.
So how? I've always wondered this, and I get different answers whenever asked. How did you get like big into TikTok? How did that evolve? Tell us the backstory on this.
Trust, I'm wondering that too sometimes. So for me, it was so long story short, the unit I'm with now, I got out there, made a big change in my career, and it was kind of one of those things where I've been searching for that opportunity for a while, and it had always just not been in the cards, or had gotten turned down, or you know, a lot of it was like, oh, we'll reclass you, but we're going to bump you back down to a 4. I was like, no. So moved out to the West Coast to go to the unit I'm with now, which I love them. They've accepted me. Like, everything I was kind of looking for in the prior like 10 years of my career, in the past year and a half, I've found it with the boys that I'm with now. And it's been awesome. It just sucks it took me 10 years to find them.
Right.
I also went out there for a opportunity in police work. The police work thing didn't pan out. And so I kind of gone out there for 2 dreams. One worked out, one didn't. And after that happened, I was, you know, went back to working retail, and I was like, all right, well, shoot, what do I want to do now? And I started TikTok kind of like a creative outlet, just an outlet. And it was a Halloween video, I think it was, where I talk about like being Halloween in your 30s, or like being around Halloween in your 30s. How when you're younger, you know, you see some of the outfits that, you know, people are in, and you're like, you know, okay. And then in your 30s, you're like, honey, are you cold? Like, put on some pants. Like, you look good, sugar, but put on some pants. It's cold outside. That one blew up to like, I want to say 1 million or something like that in the span of like 24 hours. And I was like, oh, okay. And
Now
then
I
it
gotta
just
be
kept,
funny.
kind of, and it just kept going up and up and up and up. By January, I think was it January? No, it was December because it was before I went to reclass school. By December something, we had hit 1 million. By February something, I'd hit 2 million. And as this started going up, it was like, okay, I finally have the opportunity to kind of do something with this. So that's when the merch started and a bunch of other opportunities opened up. And the big thing for me, oddly enough, that made me like click into it as like, not only is this something I want to do, this is really something I should do now that I have the opportunity. First person who ever recognized me in public. First person ever. I was flying back home for Christmas. I'm at the airport. I'm at the bar. Young lady runs up to me and she like starts almost like fanning herself like the I'm crying thing. And she's like, I'm really sorry. Are you this person on TikTok? Are you Copperhead? I'm like, yes, ma'am, that's me. And she like starts smiling and crying. I'm like, honey, it's okay. I'm not that big of a deal. Calm down. She's like, no, you don't understand. Like your content and stuff like that, like helps me laugh when I don't want to, like helps other people on like bad days and like just helps them feel better. A friend of ours, to word it politely, was kind of on the edge, and you making her laugh and this and that kind of helped pull her back from that. And then I got more messages like that. I got more things like that of people who were like, hey, when I'm not good or like when I'm not okay, like you've helped pull me out of this and you've made my days better, or you inspired me to do this and you inspired me to do this. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this train can't stop now.
Right.
Like the positive effect that it's had on people, which it didn't really click until I really got like that direct feedback of like, dude, you affect people's lives. I mean, all you're trying to do is just be you and be funny and be this and that, but it affects people's lives and it's in a good way.
Right.
So for me, it's like, okay, well, then full steam ahead. Let's go.
Right. Well, and if you can, I've always thought, because I don't have the viewers on this that you have on your channels, right? But like I always kind of we talk a lot on here. I don't know if you're watching the shows about like mental health and like getting help, and how we've been affected by certain things, and I think the reason that I do this particular, and I think TZ's the same way, is because we do get that kind of feedback, and you're right, it takes on another level, like a certain responsibility to do really that, does. And so
it's funny. Even you said like the following that I have, it's weird because like. So most people know me for TikTok, where yes, we have the now 2.1 million on there, but it's weird because I don't think what a lot of people don't get is that doesn't necessarily transfer to all the other ones. Because like on here, like I've got a YouTube on here, and I think there's only like, I think maybe like 1.5 thousand something on there. Okay. Instagram, the numbers are way lower. And then like I've got my Patreon also, but like it's funny because. It's funny because I think a lot of people kind of think that like TikTok fame automatically equals like YouTube and Instagram and this and this and this. And it's like, nah, they're kind of, well, and even if you look at like, you'll look at actual like celebrities like, The Rock or Keanu Reeves, who have like a TikTok and an Instagram and a YouTube, and the numbers are so weird and oddly spaced out. It's insane.
Right.
So each one of the different platforms, the different types of streaming platforms give you different types of followings.
Exactly.
Okay.
One I kind of think too, at least like from because I've got kids ranging all the way from like 7 years old to 23 is my oldest.
Oh, wow.
And so like, it's interesting to see like which ones, like my high school age kids, TikTok, all kinds of TikTok, right? And then my older kid is like Facebook. And then my youngest ones are like Be Real. Like the middle school kids are like Be Real. Everything's got to be on Be Real. Look at it, Be Real.
Be Real.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's like Snapchat that you do like once a day or something. I don't fucking quite get it. I don't have one, but they love it.
I've never heard of it.
Yep, but I hear about it every day when Be Reals go off. So it's like it goes off randomly throughout the time of the day, and you got to take a picture, and you take a picture of yourself, and then like of what you're doing.
Wow.
But there's those different demographics between each one. So it's kind of you'd think that okay, yep, all this group likes TikTok, so I whatever. So
well, yeah, because like my grandson who lives with me, he's 12. He's obsessed with YouTube.
Yep.
His 6-year-old sister is obsessed with YouTube, but she's also obsessed with Snapchat. She loves to get on my Snapchat and send Snapchats to all my friends of her goofy little face with all the filters. But then my 28-year-old son who lives here, he's a TikToker. So I mean, yeah, you can see all the different.
Well, and
age
I
changes
think
and
the
differences.
reason for that, I think the big thing with YouTube, especially to like a younger audience, is like, obviously growing up, like the only TV we had was like cable. Like you couldn't choose what you wanted to watch. You either popped in a VHS, popped in a DVD when that became a thing, or you waited until your favorite show was on. These kids now, their favorite YouTuber or YouTubers, like several of them, they can literally sit there and like kill 3 hours just going through videos on their time of what they want when they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's much more like long form versus I think like more of the adult where they don't necessarily, or not even adult, just the older generation where it's not so much like, all right, I don't have time to sit down and watch like a 40-minute long thing, but this and this and this real quick they have time for. So I think that that's where you see the gap a lot.
Right.
Yep.
Now, and I don't want to like get too personal in this, I guess, but like for monetization though, is there monetization through TikTok? So do you get like,
yes,
you have to have so many viewers and views and time and like, so
it depends. Yeah. And it depends, number one, and it's also changed a lot, number two. And again, it's funny you asked that because like it's funny, I've run into people or like even guys in my unit, they'll be like, oh yeah, all that TikTok money you got, Mr. Superstar. I'm like, I don't know, but like you're confusing me with YouTube fame, bro. Like you got 2 million on YouTube, like you're making like 6 figures something.
Right.
But on TikTok, so as far as like how the monetization part of it works, there's a couple different things. Like obviously when you go live, there's that part of it where essentially like depending on the amount of likes or like gifts that people send or whatever, which are like the little animations and stuff like that come up, those will somewhat transfer. It's almost kind of like Twitch when you do that.
Okay.
There's 2 things. There's the Creator Fund and the beta program. The beta program, which is the one that I'm a part of, is that essentially any video that's longer than a minute and falls within like certain parameters, it kind of falls under like the same guidelines. So like if it's it's a minute and 1 second long, it then falls into this thing where it's kind of like a little bit per view kind of thing.
Okay.
So I mean that's what I'm on now, and it's changed, but at the same time, it's not like like every 5 seconds. Like no, it's better, but it's not like I'm not rolling in thousands of dollars a day.
Right. Because it's not because like you said, like with YouTube, but with TikTok, there's no ads. You don't get any ads when you're flipping through your TikTok, right? Can you sign up for ads, or can you do that, or how does that work?
The ad thing that I've seen, because you'll see them every now and again. A lot of times it's when you first open it.
Yep.
Like you'll first open TikTok, and before you can actually start scrolling, there'll be like a quick thing that's ads. For the most part after that, there's not really a whole lot of ads. There's videos that they make that are meant to advertise something.
Right.
But it's not necessarily like an ad like, oh, you have to stop scrolling for the next 30 seconds or no, nothing like that.
Right. Not like YouTube where if you open a YouTube video, you have to watch a 15-second Irish Spring clip or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, there's nothing like that where like you have to watch it.
Right.
There'll be ones where if you watch it, cool. If not, and you just, then you're fine.
Okay. Yeah. It's always been curious to me, like how that, because you see some people, they're like, oh yeah, I'm giving out millions of dollars like Mr. Beast bullshit or whatever, you know what I mean? And then there's people who are like, yeah, dude, I can't even quit my day job because I make zero money on this thing. So yeah.
For me, it's been kind of spaced out, and for me, because prior to the whole like congressional hearing over TikTok, there was a big change in the algorithm right after that whole congressional hearing thing.
Yeah.
And it was funny because for me, I was like, am I doing something wrong? Like what am I doing? Because like my views all of a sudden went like, and they're like slowly pick up and stuff like that. But then I noticed that a lot of the other TikTokers that either A, I talk to, B, I follow, C, I follow and talk to, or D, just have like a similar following. I went and I saw their views, and a lot of their views suddenly went from like the hundreds of thousands to lower.
Right.
And it happened across the board to everybody. And it was like, oh, okay, so this is an everybody thing.
Okay.
But for me, it's also, I have it spaced out in a bunch of different avenues because we've got I've got what I have come in from TikTok. There's also the Patreon that I have, which is kind of more of like my long form podcast kind of thing, where I do everything from like personal anecdotes. I do like radio play type stuff. We just did one of like the Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, but I do it in a way in that it's like a doctor talking to the main character in the Worcester Insane Asylum that would have been there during that time period. So I'll do things like that, the merch and then other things like that. So yeah, so you really do have to space them out.
Right.
You kind of can't count on this one thing to be like, the main source of everything.
Right. Speaking of that, your calendar. Yes. I saw that when I was looking through your deal. Who put that on? Okay. So I need to hear the calendar story.
Well, like how the calendar, like
the whole thing. I want to hear all of it because it looks.
All right.
It really is really intriguing to me, and I think our audience would be intrigued by it.
Got it. So the idea for the calendar, I'm trying to remember who suggested it to my mama, but someone suggested it to my mama, and like my mama and I are essentially business partners. Like we co-own the company that like the TikTok, the merch, all this and that is under. And someone suggested it, and I was kind of like, yeah, it will be funny. And then someone else suggested it, and we were like, oh, okay. Someone else suggested, we were like, hey, this might not be a bad idea. So we ended up coming out with a calendar. It's just like a few things of me from like over the past year, everything from like me being away from military, photo shoots that we've done, clips from things that I've done like on range days and here and there and everything all throughout. Fun little facts about me like throughout each month. If you actually head over on Instagram, there's the Copperhead 347 merch page. That my mama just threw up all that info, so that's on there. And it was just kind of something where, because to me it was weird. I don't want to say weird in a bad way. To me it's because to me it's funny to think like you want a calendar of like, I'm just me, right?
Right.
And then every now and again I have to remind myself of like, yeah, people kind of like you a little bit, dude. So.
There's worse things in the world. There's absolutely worse things in the world. So, yeah, if I took my shirt off, people would like pay me to put it back on. So you got that going.
So I'll tell you right now, it's not that kind of calendar. It's not that kind of calendar.
Oh, but no, it looks
not
like
at that level yet.
Like I said, when it came up on your Facebook, because I was like, all right. So backstory. Like I don't do I don't do the graphics and stuff, right? We have another agreement, and then for some reason it kind of fell through the cracks. So I didn't have any graphics, so I'm like, I gotta grab some graphics to build my scenes and stuff. And so I found your calendar stuff, and I was like, I don't know, but yeah, it was like. Because it was like, oh yeah, check it out, and it, on my phone it was all like really small. I couldn't really see a whole lot. I was like, man, that looks exciting. So
it ain't one of those like shirtless Mr. February kind of calendars. It ain't one of them yet.
Hey, if you could do that, make some money, bro. I ain't hating on you. Do it. Go for it.
I'm not saying it ain't never gonna happen. I'm just saying that's not what this one is.
So what about like, do you have like any, you're talking about your fans and then you met that one girl at the airport and she was like, oh my God, like, is that more of a thing now or no, or kind of random?
It doesn't actually happen a lot. It happens every now and again. Like it actually just happened today. We were at Walmart and, lady and her little one were going through the aisle and she's like, I'm sorry, weird question. Are you on TikTok? I'm like, yes, ma'am, that's me. She's like, oh my God, I follow you. I'm like, no kidding. And I'm like talking with her and her daughter and stuff like that. And it's funny because I actually get like a lot of Instagram messages of people who were like, hey, by the way, were you here like around this time? Something like that. And I'll be like, yeah. They're like, okay, I saw you there, but I didn't want to like, be rude and interrupt you. And for me, it's like, all right, well, first off, I definitely appreciate that. I'd prefer that than people like trying to, run up and, be all in my face and everything. Right. But I tell people all the time, like, if you see me, don't be, unless I'm like actively doing something or like I'm actively like, feel free to come up and say hi to me because like I love meeting the people who support me. I love getting like their 2 cents and like actually like putting names to the people that support me.
Right.
And even when I do, I've had like wonderful conversations with people. It was actually back in, I think, February, young lady I ran into at the airport. And it was like a pretty empty flight. And the seat next to her was open. And so I even asked flight attendant, I was like, hey, can I just change seats? I was like, yeah. And she and I sat there for the whole 6-hour flight and just chatted about like everything.
Cool. That's cool.
Have you been recognized by other celebrities? Has somebody you think is a celebrity and you've been like, I don't know, at an event of some kind or an airport or something, and somebody who you're like, oh, I kind of recognize that guy from TikTok or from whatever. Right. And then, kind of, or no.
So another celebrity or like someone who I consider a celebrity?
Either one.
Celebrity?
Either one.
Yeah. Not yet. Well, oddly enough, so like working private security, I've met celebrities, but that was obviously like years ago, way before all this. I don't actually go out that much.
Oh, well, that's one way. That's one way to keep it from happening.
A little bit. I am going to be at the there's actually the Sci-Fi Horror Convention that's in Vernon Downs, New York. I'm a celebrity guest at that, which for me is also cool because there's a whole bunch of people there that I'm kind of like, oh, cool, I get to see this person. And,
so you get the fanboy.
A little bit, yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, as far as like other celebrities, really the only sort of like other celebrities I've interacted with are like other people who are, bigger on TikTok and stuff like that, who we end up finding out that we follow each other and then we'll message and we'll talk back and forth and stuff like that. So
cool.
That's cool. Have you had any like kickback from your command at all with any of this stuff?
So it's funny you say that. I've actually kind of had the opposite. I'm not gonna lie. I've had the opposite. Obviously I've had the whole like, hey, don't be stupid or nothing like that. And it's like, well, of course not, sir. But like oddly enough, I get a lot of like, so how's the TikTok going? Or like every now and again they'll be like, oh yeah, and we have a famous TikToker with us, so that's a thing. They kind of like both poke fun of me about it and kind of like throw it out there just as a thing. As far as command, I've actually been asked the opposite. I've almost been asked like, hey, so this person who does this and this in recruiting or this and that in like marketing, they might want to talk to you to bounce some ideas off of this and this. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because obviously with recruiting being the way it is, I think that they're trying to find like more ways to, in essence, just kind of market and advertise.
Right.
And obviously every state is different. Every unit is different.
Right.
But with the unit I'm with now, no, they've never had like a problem with it. If anything, they're like, hey, how's this going? How's the family doing? How's this going? They're not like, yeah, you're being smart, right? You're not, they're like, no, I've had the exact opposite. Right. They're pretty much in support of it as long as I'm not being dumb.
Right. No OPSEC stuff or whatever.
No OPSEC.
Nothing inappropriate that's going to bring discredit upon yourself or the unit. Yeah, that's cool. That's actually really cool because when I was deployed, we had a couple of guys that were making like YouTube videos and they were stupid. Like we were lip syncing to like NSYNC songs and dancing in our ACUs in the desert. And they were like, fucking shut that shit down. That is woo. What if the Taliban finds out where our shitters are or something? Like, dude, just fucking chill out, man. Like, so that's always been kind of my reflection on. You're not a PAO. You're not allowed to post anything, and so I didn't know if they were still kind of like that or. Like,
I think that. Let's word it this way: I could not be doing this and still in. I'm gonna go with even like 5 years ago.
Yep.
5 years ago, I think I would have gotten kickback. I think that because the sort of environment has shifted so much. I mean, everything from like Angry Cops, who, is still in posts. And he's even talked about it, how like, he's had issues with like, trying to go warrant or this or that. Like, has it affected his career? Yes, but not the point where they're like, trying to kick him out.
Right.
And he still does his thing. There's a lot of other military TikTokers who do the same kind of thing. And I think that the landscape has definitely shifted. And I think the reason for that is that it has kind of bridged this gap to where as long as you're not violating OPSEC, bringing discredit upon you or the United States Army or the military service, so on and so forth,
right,
that it's kind of bridging this gap and it's somewhat normalizing it.
Okay.
Like the military isn't this. Or I think the reason why it's not as big of an issue is that I think that it's starting to bridge this gap to where it's like, hey, these are people just like y'all. And it's almost sort of a form of marketing or advertisement where it's like, hey, we do fun things too. And we do this too. And we're normal people. This isn't like a, you join and you're no longer a person kind of thing.
Right.
So I think that's kind of why it hasn't been as big of an issue. Like I said, as long as you're being smart, you're not violating OPSEC, you're not doing this, you're not doing that.
Right. You're not being an idiot about it, being dumb about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So have you been able to parlay your TikTok fame? You said you were kind of having some issues with other social media stuff. You said you got the merch stuff, you got all that going on.
Mhm.
Have you had any offers for like doing things like brand partnerships with anybody or anything like that? Like how does that work, and what kind of success have you had with that?
So we actually have a few already. So we have one with, actually I've got two of them sitting right here. First one is with Ben Roos Watches. Ben Roos reached out to us and essentially sent me over. This one is their DTU dash 2A Papa. The Ben Roos so these were actually the ones that used to get issued. This was like during Vietnam.
Okay.
But back then it was like the mil.dtw something, but essentially their recreation of that. So I have the partnership with them. We have the partnership with Cherry Bomb, who is essentially kind of like it's sort of like a energy drink, but like rather than it being like canned, it's kind of like a thing you throw in water, almost like Crystal Light.
Okay.
But also with caffeine and a heck ton of vitamins. A heck ton of vitamins. And quite frankly, I feel better. Having gotten kind of away from Monsters and being on this is nice.
Right.
So there's been that. There's actually another one that I'm going to be doing soon, which I won't give too much away until the video actually comes out. But long story short, like kind of a furniture company. So yeah, it has. And it's been cool, but it's been like super weird for me, because to me, it's like, as much as, I work at it like it's a business and I try to do this and I try to do that. But to me, it's also like hey, y'all, I'm just me. Like,
Right.
I'm not Keanu Reeves cool. Like, you want me to do your thing? And it's kind of like, yes, dude, they want you to advertise their thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, I mean, for me, it's awesome because it's every new kind of opportunity that comes up is like, it's like Christmas in July.
Right.
Like, it's just cool for me.
Right.
So those are the two big ones that we have right now is Ben Roos and Cherry Bomb. Mexicrate has sent me a couple different things. A couple companies have reached out to us and we're kind of working those angles too. But yeah, that really started, I want to say about February-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not so bad then.
Nice.
So that's
No.
pretty cool.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's awesome. I'm not complaining. And like, even like I said, the sci-fi horror convention that I'm doing literally in 10 days was all through that. And Miss Tiffany, who reached out to us, who is an absolute angel. I love that lady. That has networked into other things. And, I'm very much looking forward to it. So it's the cool part about it is that it's not just the TikTok itself, it's how it's branched out into all these other things.
Right.
That for me, like, I get to do.
Right.
It's not like, oh, I got to respond to this. And I was like, no, like, I get to reach out to this and this and this.
Right.
And for me, a lot of the end goal of it is kind of a similar thing. For me, it's like, I want this to blow up because there's a lot of things I want to get to do and get to, like, hey, I want to bring attention over to this organization, or I want to work with this to help these people out, or I want to do this, or I want to do this.
Right.
And that's kind of really the end goal of a lot of this is just try to send that positive message and, branch out kind of as much positivity as we can. And also at some point be able to look my mom and dad in the eye and say, hey, neither one of y'all ever got to work again. Like, I got it.
Right. Well, so that kind of leads to my next. When do you think you can just sit back? Like, what's a milestone that you can reach?
Never.
That you don't think you can ever just sit down and be like, I made it. I've made it. I've accomplished these goals. I've made it. I'm not going to say on cruise control, but you've kind of got to a point where you're no longer having to grind as hard.
I don't think I'm ever in a not grind so hard way, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I don't think I will ever get to that point where it's like, you know what? I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. I can relax now. Like, no,
Yep.
I don't think I will ever get to that point. I'll be at the point where, I won't have to worry about as much.
Right.
But to me, I don't ever foresee myself being at a point where it's like, hey, you know what? I can sit back and let this and this and this take care of itself. For me, I know darn well I'm going to be like, this and this and this taken care of. Cool. this other thing over here. Let's start working on this. I want to get work on this. I want to help out with this. I want to do this. I want to do that. You know, to me, there's always something.
Okay. There's another iron in the fire that you can.
There's another iron in the fire. There's another, you know, there's something else on the coals, and there's something else that to me I'm not doing.
Right.
That I should be doing or need to be doing or want to be doing. So obviously you get to that point where you can take it at your own pace and you're not like, you know, burning yourself out.
Right.
But yeah, I
think that's important to kind of get to a place where you're, I'm not gonna say on cruise control, but like you said, not burning yourself out, not feeling like you got to do this. And like, I know I kind of like, I struggle with this sometimes, like, because I create content, I guess technically with this, but like, that's why I like what we do. It's very organic. We don't, it's not forced, but like I like with TikTok and stuff, like, do you feel like you have to be funny all the time? Do you feel like you have to create certain things? Like, do you feel like you have an expectation now to complete this? And if you do, does that like kind of burn yourself out of it?
Yes and no. There is kind of that vein where it's like anything in creativity. Like any author will tell you, anyone who does anything in any creative outlet will tell you that there are points when you're like, oh shoot, what's the next thing? What's the net? What do I got? But then you also have that like, oh, I got the idea for this and this and this and this and this. And next thing you know, you've got like all these videos sitting in your drafts that like you're good to just throw them out. And then there's other times where you're sitting and you're like, I don't know what to talk about. Like you draw a blank.
Right.
To me, it's never been a thing where I'm like, oh, I hate this now. This isn't fun anymore. It's never gotten to that point. But there are points where I'm like, okay, I want to put out something, but at the same time, I don't want to half-ass something. I don't want to throw something out for the sake of just throwing something out.
Right.
So you do at times, I kind of have to force myself to be like, you know, all right, well, I know we don't got anything right now, but think like, what's this? What do you have to say on this? You know, what do you think will work for this and this? Even if something that's just quick and just throws out there. Did it make someone smile today? Did it make someone who's feeling crappy today, you know, perk up a little bit? All right, we did our job.
Right. How many videos do you try to post a day?
Generally about 1 or 2.
Okay.
With the algorithm being the way that it has, that's been kind of off to the point where I'll try to make things that are a little bit more of a longer form, which sometimes takes a day or 2 to put out. Which again kind of goes into the whole like I don't want to half-ass something.
Right.
So I don't want to like throw something out there just to throw out there. Like actually the one that I just did, it was kind of like making fun of how like music videos used to be in the 90s. And it's all like very like edited and it's got like, you know, the whole, you know, like steam clouds moving in the background at super sped up speed and like, you know, all these different things that is very like stereotypical 90s music video-esque. And of course I'm standing in the shower clothed, getting rained on because every music video they were getting rained on or the wind's blowing or they're standing on top of a mountain for some reason. So like, and that was literally like a full day just to get that done. And, you know, threw that up there. And it's kind of set in this little area where it's not like shooting up, but it hasn't totally flopped either. But for me, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, well, we did the thing. Like we still put out the thing, focus on the next thing and then the next thing and then the next thing. But there are times where I'm kind of like, shoot, what do I film today? What do I do? What do I do?
Right. Do you think that like sometimes you post stuff just to post stuff? Or do you try to like is there like a balance there to like kind of keep genuine to yourself? And like I guess I don't know how I'm how to phrase this question right, I guess, but like have you ever felt like you've just put out content just because you have to keep that algorithm going, to keep in the limelight, or you know, do you really
yeah, and I think I see what you're getting at. And to a certain degree, yes, but it's not so much of throwing it out there throughout there. Like I have throw things out there maybe on like a time frame where I was like, all right, well, if I don't, you know, do something today or within the next 12 hours, the algorithm is going to do this and this and this. And it's not so much that I've been like, throw something together because I half-assed it. It's more like some I've had sitting in drafts where I'm like, do I want to work on this longer? Do I want this? Do I want that? Or like, is the timing right and stuff like that? Sometimes I've put things out there for the sake of that. But even when I do, I'll sit there and I'll watch the thing on repeat again and again and again, and then reshoot parts of it if I have to again and again and again to make sure that I'm at least happy with it.
Right.
To a point that I throw it up there and it's not like I threw this together real quick. I don't really care.
Right. How long does it take to, so those videos are a minute to 3 minutes long or something like that. How long does it take you to record it, to edit it and put it out?
That can vary. I mean, there's some videos that like I see a thing or I think of a thing, I film it in the first take, I post it, it blows up, and it took me all of 5 minutes. There's other days where I have an idea in my head or I'm reacting to some stuff like that, and I'm just working away at it for like an hour, 2 hours. And then by the time I'm done and by the time it's edited and this and that, then I put it up. So anywhere from 5 minutes to 3 hours, like on the Patreon, because it's a longer form. Sometimes I'll film and record for about half hour to 40 minutes or like an hour or so. Sometimes I've recorded for an hour and a half and I get a total of 15 good minutes out of it. That's actually something that I feel okay with putting out there.
Right.
So it varies, it varies all the time. It can be like, cool, got a great gun, send it out. Or I'm working on it all day. And even by the end of the day, I'm like, there's something missing. I don't like it. Nope, I'm being too self-critical. Throw it. So it varies. It varies.
Okay. So with your content, is there something that you wish you could like bring to it? Do you sit there like when you're saying it doesn't feel right? It doesn't feel right. What's the part of the content that you really want to put into each video?
For me, I think a lot of it has to do. With like, honestly, probably equipment and like location. Because for me, there's like certain things that like I very much have how do I word it? I very much have like a film director mindset where like I always kind of envision the scene a certain way, or I envision this and that a certain way, but I don't necessarily have the location and or equipment in order to do so.
Okay.
So I kind of have to run it the best I can with what I have. I mean, for me, I love to do stuff that's more on the somewhat cinematic side, if that makes any difference.
Yeah.
To where like I talk about something and then it's me and a couple of other people literally like reenacting the thing or doing like a skit of the thing that I'm talking about.
Right.
Because it's just me and because I really only have so much to work with, I can't do that as much as I would like.
Okay.
Now we're working towards getting to that point. But for a lot of that, yeah, it's mainly I'd say like the location and the equipment side of it. That I do the best I can with it, but I also have just such a visually vivid brain, especially on the creative side of things, that how I envision it. I mean, shoot, without like a full film crew, there's only so much I can get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
to me, I'm like, I know, but I can get close. I can get close.
Right.
A lot of times that's something that'll take me like all day to do. I'm making the most that I can out of ring lights and a phone camera.
Okay.
And using Power Director and like other apps that I use, to where to me it's not going to be quite good enough, but I can at least get it pretty close.
So do you do it all on your phone then? You don't have like any kind of camera equipment or anything like that, or like I've got this supercomputer thing that I had to build to do this. You know what I mean? Like, so do you have like editing equipment and stuff like that, or do you just like you throw it on your phone and have like, I don't know, what some of those phone apps you can just and you make it like that? Or
yeah, so a lot of the like the TikTok and the video side of it, that's pretty much all from the phone.
Okay.
That's pretty much either all from the phone that I then use everything from, let's see, Power Director, Funimate, a few other things on there that I'll use for like different effects and like different things as far as like music syncing, filters, stuff like that. That pretty much is all through the phone. The Patreon, because with the Patreon, I actually like record from this microphone with this camera. That I can do through the laptop.
Okay.
So it makes it a lot easier.
Right.
At one point I was doing the like Patreon episodes, the 30 to 40-minute finished product long Patreon episodes through the phone. And it was the worst process ever. Because obviously
it sounds horrible.
Because I can sit here and I can like record something, go into audio director, mess with this, do this, cool, sync it up with video, cool, process, and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
On the phone, it's I gotta sit there and then someone calls in the middle of it. But if I leave the screen, it's going to stop producing, which means it drove me insane.
Yeah.
But so most of it is through the phone, at least on the video side of things. On the longer forms side of things is where I'll use mainly the laptop. Again, Power Director, Audio Director, a few other apps I use for things like photo editing and stuff like that. So most of it's through the phone. But if it's long form, I make sure it's on here because I know it's going to take me a while.
Right. Did you have any experience with any part of that? You said you got this cinematic brain. Did you ever, like, before this whole thing started and kind of blew up, did you like have any other kind of soirees into video editing or directing, like any kind of formal training? Did you go to any school or anything for that, or do you just picked it up one day and said, let's go, let's do it?
Formal training? Not really. I mean, I went to a very, very short stint at an art school right out of high school.
Right.
I only made it 2 semesters. And then I was like, well, 2 things. 1, I don't think school's for me. And 2, I can't afford it. Because I wanted to go to the military first, but my mama was like, all right, well, why don't we try school first?
Mm-hmm.
And then did that. My mama was essentially like, yeah, school ain't for you. School ain't for you. I love
you got to bounce back, buddy. You're not this school thing's not.
Yeah. I love you. You're smart, but school ain't for you. And they got to the point where she was like, listen, if I'm always going to worry about you, whether you're away in the Army or you're in a submarine at the bottom of the ocean with everything you ever need, but this makes you happy, so go join the Army. To which I was like, okay, cool.
Right.
But as far as the videoing stuff like that, I had kind of always done it ever since I was like a teenager.
Okay.
I would just, and it was like, back then I didn't have like a smartphone to do it with. So a lot of it was through the webcam on my laptop.
Okay.
That essentially would do the same thing. So picture everything that like people do for TikTok now, where like you set up your phone. Now it's me setting up my laptop to do the same thing. So I'm like setting up my laptop in different positions in the room and trying to like move the webcam. And I would edit things like that. And I didn't even have anywhere to post it. I would literally I would do like short, like 30-second, like almost music video edits or this or that just for fun. And we just literally send them to my friends to be like, hey, what do you think of this? They'd be like, dude, this is kind of cool. And be like, yeah. They're like, well, you putting this on YouTube? I'm like, no.
Yeah, this is for me. This is for us.
Yeah. Really. I'm like, I literally just made this just for fun. So as far as like formal training, not really, no. But I kind of have messed around with it since I was in high school, just as some for fun.
Right.
And then when this all kind of showed up, it was good because then as certain trends and stuff like that come into play, I'm not racking my brain as hard to be like, oh, how do I even do this and this? It's like, I got an idea and can kind of mess around with that. But as far as formal training, no, not really.
Have you thought about, like, now that you're kind of at this level, have you thought about that at all? Like, or opposite, teaching classes on it? Because take someone like me, like I basically have OBS and that's it. Like I and the editing software that comes with like came with like my camera. I have one of those GoPro, not GoPro, but it's Insta360. Like that's the only thing that I have for that kind of stuff. So like, have you thought about doing like, I don't know, like entry level like classes? Like here's how I got started in TikTok classes or whatever.
I haven't really thought of that, and part of that is because I mean, shoot, I still don't know how all this happened. I'm just trying to make the best I can out of it.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it.
And it's also, I think that there's enough people who kind of do that. Like you can go look up right now on YouTube. There are so many things about here's how you do these and this type of transition. Here's how you do this type of video. Here's how you do this type of video with people who actually like have all the software to literally like screen share and analyze and go into it, who have like a formal photographic and videographic background,
right?
Who can go piece by piece by piece by piece by piece on it. That for me, kind of throwing out my experience, I'm either A, telling you the same thing they're telling you, but less educated. Um, with less fancy words. So for me, yeah, as far as like a class, not really.
Because
Mainly because a lot of go ahead.
Well, because I'm going to say, like, those guys that get on there, because I've watched some of those videos trying to figure out how to use the stuff that I have, right? And it's like watching a pilot fly a helicopter. Like, he obviously knows what he's doing. Doesn't mean I can hop on the controls and do it, right? And I don't have like, oh, we've got this $30,000 camera and all this, that, and the other. Like, I don't have that.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, if so, like, you get like, hey, I got this phone, I got this, I got this. This is how I make quality content with the same stuff you have in your kitchen. Like, kind of like the Anarchist Cookbook, but for TikTok.
Okay, I see what you're getting.
Yeah.
The Anarchist Cookbook for TikTok.
Yeah. You can use that one. Congratulations. You can take it.
Huh. That's actually...
He's going to come out with the
Anarchist
TikTok for
Influencer
Dummies.
Cookbook. Yeah, the Anarchist Influencer Cookbook. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I've never thought of that. I might start thinking about that, because even like on TikTok, you'll see some of that. On TikTok, you'll actually see some of that too. That people put up tutorials for like, because like even some of the, some of the stuff that like these 12, 13-year-old kids do with like transitions, where like they're pushing their own head out of frame, and there's another one behind it, and then like they twist their neck, and it's a whole different lighting and stuff like that. And I'm like, good job, kiddo. Good job. Pixar will be contacting you when you turn the age of 18. That or Miramax or somebody, but I do not. That is not what I do.
Well, like I said, like I've watched countless hours of YouTube videos of people with all this awesome and it's like the free software you can download. But it's like I said, it's all these guys like just next level. I'm like, I just want to know how to put her in a bubble. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to make like the scene you're looking at right now on the thing. I want it to be like better quality. I want it to be like, you know what I mean? Okay. Like, I don't need the ropes course. I need the crawl and then maybe some walk. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, and there's no level of that. There's no. It's.
Yeah, nobody's teaching the shit I know.
No, you're definitely right. And now that I think about it, no, you're actually right. Because a lot of the tutorials are kind of like, hey guys, so here in the program, so obviously, pretty standard. I shouldn't even have to mention it, but I will. We're gonna have an ISO of this and this and this. And meanwhile, I'm like, that wasn't clear to me.
I don't even know what an ISO is.
Yeah, it's a thing within photography that has to do with like exposure and stuff like that. Yeah.
I didn't even know
but
that,
you are right.
so
like a lot of them, like
totally
they speak at this level that's so technically proficient.
Right.
We don't need a subject matter expert. We need a basic level expert.
Right.
I need to teach the teacher course. I don't need
there you go.
Yeah. I need the 10 level stuff. Where's the 10 manual for TikTok?
I don't need the tab. I don't need the tab course. I need a certificate course.
There you go.
Yep.
Right.
So I mean, there you go. There's your idea. Because like I said, I would sign up for something like that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Just to
think about that.
Good idea. Look at you go, Radar.
See, I have a good idea. Every now and again. Last good idea I had was about 4 years ago when I married my wife. So
yeah,
nice.
It was a good idea.
Right.
She's amazing. Yeah.
But so where do you other than your university, the Anarchist Cookbook for TikTok University, where do you like? What goal do you have? Any goals? Any that you don't? I mean, if you don't want to put anything out, that's fine too. Because but like, where do you like in the next year, 6 months to a year? What's your kind of midterm, long-term goals? Where do you see yourself and your channel being in, say, 6 months or a year?
So. I don't know, because if you asked me what was going to happen in the last 6 months, I'd go, I didn't expect that either. I mean, for me, the big things that I'm really pushing for right now are especially towards voice acting and screen acting. The voice acting side of it is definitely one that I've pushed towards, and I've been very, very fortunate that through TikTok, I've networked and connected with enough people who it just branches out. Like I've been on 2 other shows, Books and Beer, and another one where like authors who are looking for people to narrate for them are there, and you essentially are showcasing yourself. I've gotten in touch with people who actually do like narrations for Audible, who have been like, hey, if you need help with this and this, I will help you with this. I'll let you know how this and this and this works. So the voice acting side for me, I would love to do that. That would be a big thing for me. And that's another big reason why I'm happy to do this convention next week. Is like it's putting me directly in front of people who work in or around that industry. And for me, it's like it's not one of those, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and then everything's going to like, no. For me, it's I want to meet this and this person to start with this so I can just hammer away at it and just, do the grind work, do the up until 4:00 in the morning more than I already am work and, really hammer away at it. Within the next 6 months to have at least my first, fairly big, I suppose fairly big is relative, but fairly big, like voice acting gig or at least start would be awesome. Screen acting would be even better. And that's the big thing I've learned with this is that it kind of goes into one of those things where man makes plans and God goes, that's cute. For me, it's this whole thing, like literally almost like month by month has gone in directions I never could have foreseen and I never could have predicted, but it's all generally gone on a fairly upward slope. It's been a rocky upward slope, but it's generally been on an upward slope. So to me, like every day is a good day that I keep getting to do this, but there's a lot bigger things I'd love to be doing. But so to stop being so philosophical and essentially answer the question, voice acting and acting would be the two big things I would love to really either make a big dent in or get a start in within like the next 6 months, if not obviously significantly sooner.
Right.
So,
Well, that one dude went from TikTok to Cocaine Bear. So, I mean, there's that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the one guy, he was like, he played like one of the EMTs in Cocaine Bear. He's a TikToker. He's like,
really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
He's like I don't know. He's like does retail worker stuff. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I never actually saw Cocaine Bear.
Oh, well, you're missing out because you got to see Cocaine Bear.
Oh, really?
Not really. I mean, it's funny. It's funny. It's a bear who does cocaine. I mean, it's not like it's.
Is it like Sharknado kind of thing?
Kind of.
Where like it's so bad that it's good.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's like a '90s stoner movie. Kind of. I mean, it's.
Right.
But it's funny. It's like it's definitely not one to take serious, but it's kind of funny.
Well, I think you're almost kind of seeing that make a resurgence because I think people are so done with like the Hollywood equation and like well, this is what the chart says of what people want to see, and they're more and more of just like dude, these people gave a movie and didn't give a shit. Sweet, I want to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like my wife loves those like Euro Trip and all that stuff like that. Just like those. I don't know. We're all kind of about the same age ish, you know, like those movies that came out like when I was graduating high school. You were you were about middle school, high school, and she was having kids our age, and it was. But it was fun. It was those movies you could just sit around like Friday or Idiocracy or all those movies. You sit around and there's no plot, there's nothing to follow. You just kind of enjoy the show. And I think Cocaine Bear is very much that.
Well, I mean, you look back at someone like Napoleon Dynamite, which
I love that movie.
Well, that's the thing is that Napoleon Dynamite like pretty much took like the way movies were supposed to go and went, yeah, no, we're not doing that.
Yep.
And it's like it's not even a cult movie icon. It's like it's this weird space between like absolute blockbuster, but it's not at the lesser known level of cult movie. It's kind of in the somewhere in the middle where it's a little bit of both.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, and they made that with like zero budget.
Yes.
And they made a great movie, kind of like Clerks. Clerks was the same way. I mean, there's all those movies that were made with like no budget and came out to be really good movies.
Bob.
Yeah. They're I'm not gonna say cinematography. They're not masterpieces or anything, but they're entertainment.
Just good movies. Feel good movies. They're so
Boondock Saints.
They're great.
Boondock Snatch, same way.
Snatch, same way. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, all those movies that were from like that time were just the only thing I'm disappointed is Idiocracy is becoming like turns out to be more like Nostradamus than just satire, but we won't get into that at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, but those are fun movies, and I do kind of wish that they had more of that stuff, and I think that's, I don't know, we don't need the multi-million-dollar Marvel blockbusters all the time, but we can just have fun
And
movies to
I
enjoy.
think you're seeing people who want that more. They
Yep.
want something that, and I think it's the same reason you're seeing like TikTok and stuff like that blow up more. Is that it's just like, oh, cool, you have bought another Lamborghini, and now you're showing all of us, and you're flash, yay, cool, good for you.
Mhm.
But then you've got like, oh, it's a dude who literally like does what I do. Like it's a real person that talks about this and this.
Yep.
Cool, I want to watch that. Not, oh yeah, a person who has nothing to do with my life and I can't familiarize with it all. You're starting to see people want more of that like real kind of content of like, oh, I can familiarize with this.
Yeah, almost the
exactly.
Like the reality TV kind of, but in movie
Yes.
form. Yep.
Yeah.
So
In essence, yeah,
Show
kind of.
enough.
Yeah.
Except reality TV is barely reality.
Well, when
Yeah.
it first came out, though, when it was like
when it first came out,
when it
yeah.
first came out,
Reality
yeah, when it was,
Yep.
would you eat this for $1 million? Fuck yeah, dude, I'm hungry and I'm broke,
Mhm.
so yeah, I will eat your leeches for $1 million. Kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And,
You got
and
like the
now-
Fear Factor era.
yeah,
Oh,
or the MTV like Road Rules and all that stuff, and
Yes, yeah.
yeah, like I put me in an RV, I can deal with people as long as they shower.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I can-
Sometimes if they don't.
sometimes, yeah, whatever. I don't.
We've been some places where people haven't showered.
We've been in the field for long enough without showering.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
We-
Like Holly said, people want to see regular, like-minded people. Absolutely, and I think TikTok is good about that with their algorithm of showing people who have the same kind of mindset and the same entertainment. What you know, I would find entertaining. Say Holly finds entertaining, so we find the same content on there, and that is really good for that. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
but well, we've been there in almost an hour, so I want to give
shoot.
you a chance. We've kind of been trying to sell you the whole time. But if there's
thank
something
you.
if there's something you feel like we didn't touch on, or you wanted to really egg on, or really, you know, hammer on, you know, you can, you know, this is your time to sell yourself and sell whatever products and whatever social media links you want people to check out. And obviously they
Gotcha.
can find you on
Here at
TikTok.
copperhead347.com. No. So I mean, like, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different places to find me doing a bunch of different things. I mean, so you've got the big thing that kind of leads to all of them is the website. So if you go to copperhead347.com, on there you've got the merch, you've got the links to, like, you know, Ben Roos and Cherry Bomb. You've got the links to both my Instagrams, one that is essentially just kind of like an add-on to the TikTok channel of just Copperhead347. There's also Dark Rose Actual, which is kind of where I do the more military, I want to say gun tuber because it's not really that level, but it's kind of like the military tactical side of things that I do is over on there. The Patreon that I have is actually the big one. That's kind of like my baby. That's where like a lot of my longest projects are all there. And also a lot more kind of like about me. That's where I get a lot more anecdotal and my personal stories on things and my personal takes on things, as well as, you know, if you want to listen to Edgar Allan Poe being read as if it's a 1920s radio play, that's where you're going to find it. So there's that over on Patreon. But yeah, the website is pretty much where you're going to find all that. And then here on YouTube, there's a couple things here on YouTube that I've got. The longer form stuff tends to go to Patreon, but there are a few things on here. Sometimes my shorts will throw up on here, but I've got, you know, the review of Mexicrate. I've got some of the tactical drills that we do on here. I've got cleaning out my entire life in the span of 48 hours. That was fun. You know, that whole process is on here. So yeah. And then also, if you're going to be in New York, the 25th and 26th, anywhere near Vernon, New York, if you go to the Sci-Fi Horror Convention at the Vernon Downs Hotel in Vernon, New York, I'll be there. Mama Copper will be there. Come over and say hi.
Well, Cammie says the Patreon is so worth it. So,
Oh, thank you, Cammie. I appreciate you. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Cammie, is there her full name on there?
Wessel, Wassel.
Oh, hey, sugar. How you doing? I've seen her pop up once or twice.
Yep. So
there you go.
she's watching. She said the Patreon is so worth it. So
I will tell you right now, my Patreon followers are awesome because
Good.
like that's where I get honestly the most feedback, and it's funny because that's honestly where I get the most. Like I'll do an episode where like I talk on a hard topic, and I get at least like 10 of like, hey honey, are you okay? Hey, if you need someone to talk to. Or I get the most feedback of, hey, this story really made me think of this and this, and you've helped out with this and this in my life. Like my Patreon followers are just awesome. That's where the cool kids hang out.
Yeah.
Not to be biased, but that's where the cool
That's where the cool kids go.
Very
He
much.
says say hello to Darren Marrier at the convention. He's pretty cool. Guess he's supposed
Gotcha.
to be there.
Gotcha.
And Athena says your merch is pretty tight as well. So,
Oh,
but-
nice. Thank you.
but you
Athena.
guys can that all can be found at your link, right? The Copperhead 347, right?
Yep.
You can get the merch store. You can get the other links to all the other stuff.
Mhm.
I'm gonna push YouTube because I know they monetize pretty well. So check out his YouTube as well.
When you can get there.
Yep.
Because it's the whole like you need the certain amount of watched hours
Yeah.
within the past 365 days, and that's been the biggest thing is just having stuff that's long enough that you get those watched hours within a certain amount. It's
God, that's yeah. But you just like we'll just turn it on and just leave it on loop and get those watched hours up. I don't know.
I wish that's how that would work, but
Right.
Let's go buy a bunch of
because
TVs.
it does it
different.
by IP. It does it by IP.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Like even if you tell your friends like, "Hey, bro, just like throw on my video," and just it can't because it will track that IP that it watched at that one time.
So if I
that
go
counts
and
as-
log your YouTube channel onto all 75 of the computers at my local library, will that help you?
No, because it's all the same IP. Library
They all
have the
the
same
same
IP.
Ma'am, I'm not sure if you know what incriminating statements are. But-
I'm old. I know nothing. I know
Well,
nothing.
here's the
Ask
other
my
thing
kids,
too.
they'll tell you.
No matter how much they pay him, it's not worth going to prison over. So
True
I
story.
feel like that's
and,
some sort
and
of
I
fraud.
don't look good in orange, so
Yeah.
let's not do that.
I look
like
all
to
right
say
in
that.
orange, but I wouldn't do well in prison.
And like I
It
said,
washes me out.
And I don't know what their monetary policy is, but unless you're making six figures, it's really hard to
A little bit.
justify
Little
the
bit.
fraud. So
Yeah. a little bit. Yeah,
But
you
yeah.
made a whole $15 off of us. Like,
Yes.
is that worth 3 years in prison?
right. Well, I don't know, something popped up. I'm sure it was one of my kids. One of my children thinks they're going to be a famous YouTuber one day, and one of those
I would love that.
those videos are popping up on my YouTube on my TV because I like to watch like Ukraine stuff on there because I like to see Russians getting bombed. But anyway, so when I was out of town all weekend, and one of them must have been on the TV upstairs on my stuff because it's all like, how do you get monetized on YouTube? And how do you do this? And I was like, and they're like, yeah, I got all my views and all my hours and I made like $13. I'm like, to a 12-year-old, that's a lot of money. But to me, $13 is not worth
But
the
hey,
time.
but you got to start somewhere.
Absolutely you
gotta
do.
start somewhere.
Absolutely you do.
$13 today is $13K in a few months,
Right.
or 6 months, depending on
Right. Well, and for them, I mean, I don't know. They just want to play Fortnite and have people watch them play Fortnite. And I was like,
True.
Or Rocket League. And I just can't. I can't do that. So
I hear you. I hear you. Like, don't get me wrong. Like for me, I'm also weird. Like people will be like, "Oh, what do you watch on YouTube?" I'm like, I don't really watch YouTube as much as I listen to YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you listen to on YouTube? And it's like, I listen to like horror story narrators. I listen to people like Dark Somnium. I think I've literally listened to him, and he narrates stories off like Reddit and certain authors and stuff like that. But his voice and his sound design and everything is awesome. But I can literally throw that on and go about my day and do my things, and I can just listen to him the whole time. Either that or like a reading of H.P. Lovecraft stories or stuff like that. Like I throw on more audible type things, and that's what I listen to.
Right.
I don't really watch YouTube as much. And when I do, it's on something that I'm researching at the time or I'm curious about or something like that. Yeah, I don't really like sit down and like for funsies watch things anymore.
Right. That's what I actually like Times Radio a lot. And I'm like, well, I'm
Nice.
driving to work, I listen to that.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I don't deal with like Fox News and NBC. I don't like all that stuff. So like something like Times Radio or something like that I can listen to in the car. But my wife is really big on the books, on the audibles and all that. And that's what when she's doing dishes, when she's in the garage working out, when she's in the yard pulling weeds, or when she's laying in bed, she's got some sort of book on. And that's So I wish
I've either
books
got
were
some
cheaper.
type of story playing or I've got whatever song I'm obsessed with now on repeat in my ear all the time.
So, well, is there anybody that you'd recommend other than yourself for our listeners to follow, people who are kind of like-minded to you, or what's somebody who you really want to give a shout out, whether they get 100,000 views a day or 1,000 views a day, who's somebody that you would be like, man, I really wish that Radar and his listeners would hook up with meh.
Well, I'm trying to think. Well, and it's funny because we ended up actually not talking a whole lot about anything like even Army or military related, because we could at least do that for another like 2 hours between the three of us. I can easily count the amount of stories. Have you ever reached out to Angry Cops, or you ever had him on here?
He's been on a long time ago.
Like, oh, cool. All right.
Years and years and years ago, like back, probably 18, 19, he was on.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on a couple times. That was,
you know who Feral Sai is?
Maybe.
Okay, so he is the trying to think of. Oh, so it's technically Feral Sai. So it's FERAL, I think SAI. He's actually an instructor at. I think he's an SLC instructor.
Okay.
And he's always like got a thing of whiskey. He actually like knows Angry Cops and a lot of them. He's been in a few of his videos.
Mm-hmm.
He's always got a thing of whiskey, and he tells stories and he goes into story time. Or he's just like, there'll be a little snippet of something in the beginning. He'll be like, yeah, this is why all of this is not going to go well. And, he'll go in all that. I think that it'd be cool to have him on because that man has, one, just a lot of stories. And two, I just personally like his take on things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look him up.
Yeah, I definitely reach out to Feral Sai and see if he's willing to come on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll reach out to, I like having the whole, and I don't know how much you listen, but especially active duty soldiers, National Guard, veterans, all that stuff. I really want to give everyone a chance to I want to be a sounding board for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whether they're musicians or content creators, whatever, because and I think we all kind of grow together is the way I look at it. But for two, like you said, the reason that you do this and the reason that I do what I do is a lot the same because we're a community and we're helping each other and we're building each other up. And so to have other content creators on or musicians or whatever, we had Mark Ridge on a couple weeks ago, and he's airborne guy, great guy, ton of fun to be around. I love having these conversations with guys like you, and maybe some of these guys who are listening, maybe they're back in the barracks somewhere, like, man, I can fucking do that. Absolutely. Right. So I would love to give that mouthpiece to people.
And that's why I was excited to come on, because that's very much what I love about what you do is that it's not like you just talk to dudes who are like, oh yeah, here's my stories from Iraq or Afghanistan or here. You talk to dudes who and dudettes who, are they in or have they been in? Yes. But here's this whole other side of what they do. Here's this whole other side of what they do while they're still in, when they got out, so on and so forth. It's not like, oh, let me guess, this episode is going to be more and more. No, you branch out and you have all these different topics that get covered that are still within the military spectrum,
right?
In a way that, yeah, like you said, like dude listening back to the barracks or someone sitting on, CQ right now. It's just like, wait, the dude's been in 10 years. He's a sergeant. And he's going towards voice act. Like, that's an option,
right?
Like, that's a thing you can do.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. And that's what I've always loved about what you do. Because right after we got the invite, I was like, I've checked the page, but I've never really checked like the episodes. And then I went back now, I looked through a bunch of the episodes, and I was like, ooh, nice.
Well, I really appreciate that. I really do. And I appreciate you coming on with us and hanging out for a bit. And I really do, from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it, taking some time out of your busy schedule and stuff.
I appreciate y'all having me. Trust me.
And I think we're going to cut to break. I'll let you get on with your evening, and we'll be back to finish things up. So thanks so much.
Sweet.
Thanks, Jack, and we'll go to break. Shots.
Thank you so much.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shot.
Hey, everybody, we back.
Hi.
We back. Oh, fucking Jack Hill. That was amazing. That was such a good interview.
That was great.
That was really good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very informative, and I love the goals he has set for himself, and man, that voice.
I
was a little tempted to close my eyes there for a minute and picture like a 45-year-old man and be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
No, that was
So,
great. Oh man,
someone that's
I'm
the
gonna
age of my
get you his
child.
calendar. I'm gonna order you his calendar.
Okay, yeah.
No, but genuinely, like the best answer I think of that question I've got, because I ask almost everybody who's on, what and it differs. What would you do? How would you know you made it? And he's like, no, I'm never made it. I'm grinding. I'm going, and that's that says something. So, when somebody has talent and a drive to accomplish things, there's nothing that they can't accomplish. So, I think he's
exactly.
I think this will be one of those ones where someday I'll be like, yeah, he was on my radio show. And my kids be like, no, he wasn't. Yeah. So
You're like, yeah, I was. I have the proof.
Yeah,
I have a fucking recording of it. Damn it! I knew him back when.
Oh, so
He hung out with this old bitch once upon a time.
it's so I really enjoy people who kind of I don't know. I think you and I share the same passion for this job and why we do it, and so it's nice to see people in other genres do it. Like I know, like with Mark Ridge, he's like, I like helping people, like doing this. I like getting, telling my stories, and this is kind of the same thing. We tell stories, but we help people out in a way. Give them a
reason.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a small reason, a reason to smile, a reason to think about doing something a little different, a little better, or just even a reason to maybe get up tomorrow morning.
Yep. Yep.
Just something.
Their weekly reminder that the world's a better place with them in it, kind of thing. So
Exactly.
Yep.
And it is.
So
Always.
Oh, I was gonna ask him about that. Damn it.
What,
Heath was talking about my OnlyFans with my feet, and I was like, oh, my only feet. But I was gonna
My only fate.
that was something popped up with my kids. We were talking about it when I was dropping them off or whatever. And like I said, every one of them thinks they're gonna be like famous.
Oh yeah, of course they all do.
All kids think they're bound for stardom,
Mhm.
And they were talking about like even at like they get like weird like sex bots that try to get them to send them money and shit, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing because I don't have any sex bots. That's how little screen time I actually get. I don't have a fleet of sex bots trying to give it.
You don't get the weird DMs and stuff.
Right. No, I don't. But I thought about asking him, like, because especially with Patreon, like, you got to pay for Patreon, which is fine. It's usually pretty inexpensive, and you get cool
Were you gonna
content.
ask him if he gets like the weird shit?
Yeah, I'd be like, hey man, what are you gonna do to OnlyFans?
Look, I get the
what kind of weird
request?
request do you do?
Look, if I get the weird shit, he definitely gets the weird shit, and I get that. You saw. So my most recent one, didn't I send that to the team page?
Which one was
where
that
I'm
one?
going to be making thousands of dollars. That guy wants me to be his sugar baby.
Yep.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
I get those fucking things
I don't get those at
all the time.
We didn't ask if he sings. I don't know. He didn't say anything about it either way. I'll email him and ask him. Sex bots, sex
Maria
bots.
says yes, he will sing sometimes.
I was curious because he's got
That voice.
when he was talking about doing the narrating audiobooks. He needs to do that because he needs to do the books my wife listens to, because those people are annoying. Some of them they sound like me. Right, so they need to get people who like he actually has the voice for it. So,
who's that country and western singer? His last name's Turner, I think.
Josh Turner. He does sound like Josh Turner.
He's got that real deep, sultry, "Hey, how you doing?" kind of voice.
Absolutely. Yeah. He'd have a great voice for any of that. And that's what we're talking about kind of on the break. Like, sometimes people come on or we talk to people or whatever, and they've got these high, lofty goals. Like, I'm going to be a bajillionaire because I'm going to sell soap or some shit, right? Like, all of his things that he just said to us are very, very attainable to him. Yeah. And I really do. Yeah. And so you can like follow him, be successful. And I really enjoy that. So, Cos thinks sell feet pics. You know what?
I've been asked if I would sell my pictures of my feet.
I want to do the
Apparently
dirty bath
I have very
water.
cute feet.
I don't know. My feet are all fucked up. I'm missing toes, so maybe I get extra
Well, yeah,
money.
that's right.
Yeah.
You know, somebody out there's got a kink for that, though.
Yeah.
Somebody
them.
would buy your semi-toeless feet.
Yeah,
pics.
maybe. I don't
I
want to go
bet.
down that road. Then I just feel dirty. Just kidding.
Oh my God, he has morals.
No, I don't have morals. I'm just making content. When we first started doing this, and I'm being absolutely serious right now. When we first started doing this, and I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was CQ. Maybe it was Nemo or something. Was like, you need to like figure out how to like do Facebook Shorts and TikToks and stuff. And CQ does some of them, like with his interviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've never figured out how. No, I really hope that Jack will do that. Yeah, I will 100%. I'll pay for it. Like, teach me how to. This is what I have. Like, I said, I get on those stupid videos, and it's like, yeah, you gotta like have like an engineering. I don't want an engineering degree. I don't want 20 years of developing software to know. I just want to be able to like put some videos together and put like our emblem in the corner, and maybe make some music go with it.
And put me in a bubble.
And put you in a bubble. That's all I want to do.
One day I'll be in a bubble, you guys. One day you will turn on the show and I will be in a bubble.
Holly says,
Holly said?
Yeah, there needs to be a WTF Nation radio calendar.
I think that's a supreme idea. And my niece, not the niece that's in Hollywood, well, in LA, but my niece who lives here local, if we can get a get together here, she has a photography business.
Really?
And she would shoot it. Or better yet, Jay Ready.
Yes.
We could get Jay Ready to shoot our calendar.
Do that. We should do like a War Horses get together and
have Jay Ready
shoot the calendar. Yes, I love it. Holly, you've
just put an idea.
You've cracked the nut.
Put it in ops. Put it in ops.
Okay, I won't, but you do it. It's your idea.
I have to. No, it's Holly's idea, but
yeah, but you're the Jay Ready. Yeah, I'm not against. I think it'd be fun because he's not too far from me.
Super fun, and we could have like each of us have our own month, and
Or if Jay Ready won't do it, here's the other option. Glamour shots.
JC Penney's.
Yes, we go to Penny's or Sears.
Like JC Penney's ones?
Or just regular ass glamour shots.
Cool
yes. With like, and we like go full out. We go to like Salvation Army and get us some like outfits.
Can I be like Miss Roper?
Do whatever you want.
Can I wear a caftan in mine?
You do whatever you want.
And my readers hanging from a necklace?
You can do whatever you want.
That's what I want. Oh,
ooh, the chicken boudoir.
With the chicken. Oh, chicken boudoir pictures.
That actually would be fun. That'd be fun. Just do 12 of the 30. You have to do 13. You gotta have a cover shot too.
Yeah. Well, the chicken could be on the cover.
I actually, you know what? We're talking about gear, right? And I got a pretty decent camera, and I got a decent webcam, right? And then I got my GoPro, my action camera. Yeah, it's quick. Anyway, and then I've got I don't have shit for like a camera. And I have a nice camera. But I need to get a new one.
I got one from one of my exes
Wilson.
for a Christmas gift.
I need to get an actual camera though. Like a camera.
One of my exes bought me one, and
not,
it's a
but like digital. So if anybody knows anything about digital cameras, like, and not like with the actual lenses and stuff, because I need to take like action shots of soccer, because I'm sick of taking pictures with like all zoomed in with my iPhone.
I'll ask my niece. I'm not kidding when I say she's a photographer.
Okay, well ask her. I don't know your niece.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Sounds weird if I just
I'll
just message her out of nowhere. Hey, what do you know about cameras?
No, I'm saying I will ask her information for you. I'm writing it down right now on a sticky pad. See? Sticky pad. I'm going to write it down right now. And I'm going to ask her information for you about, okay, there we go. Ask information for radar, cameras, action shots, soccer. Okay.
Yes.
Dum, da-dum, dum, da-dum, da-dum, and then I'll send you what she sends me. That works. Boop, boop, be-doo.
Also, I need your address because I have a shirt for you here.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Let me send that to you right now.
Send it to me right now.
Because I keep forgetting. I always forget that. I don't know why. We've talked about it on like 3 or 4 different shows,
Yes.
and I keep forgetting. Okay, I'm
You
sending
go
it to you
to
literally
this.
right
So-
now.
Let me see if I can find that t-shirt. Okay, so remember last week, Sturgis?
Yes.
I want to show you what it looks like a week later. Ready?
Oh yeah, show me, show me. It's dead.
It's dead
in
as fuck.
Sturgis.
And there's cars on. Like this was packed a week ago. 24 or whatever, 7 days
Yeah,
ago
it
to
had
the
all
minute.
the vehicles
It was
and all the
packed.
stuff and the
People-
peoples, and
Yep.
it was insane.
It's gone. This is Sturgis 51 weeks a year. Wow. All the tents are gone. Well, there's still a couple of the big tents. But yeah, it's just empty now. Here we go. Zoom out a little bit. Yeah, isn't that crazy? And honestly, Sunday morning, everyone's gone. Sunday morning, Monday, everyone's gone. It's a normal ass town, normal ass Main Street now. This is right outside of a hotel, so that's probably some workers that are in town to do the highway or something. Yeah, seriously. If it wasn't for those, 4 vehicles on Main Street, it'd be empty, completely empty.
Wow.
Oh, there's a motorcycle. Sorry. There's a motorcycle on Main
Check my
Street.
phone for recent calls. Someone from Mexico tried to call me.
Nice.
Anybody from Mexico? Here, if
Everyone's
anybody
either in
wants to
jail or
call this
hungover or both. Actually, in all fairness,
52466655072. If anybody would like to call Mexico and find out why someone was calling me, I hope it's not someone that's there on a vacation in jail that needed my help, because I'm poor and
All
I
right.
can't help you.
well, and
But
also
apparently
too,
I have a call from Mexico.
yeah, gotta buy Mexico. But Cons is like, yeah, everyone's in jail. The courthouse has been pretty busy the last couple days.
I bet.
Mhm.
I bet there was lots of
Yep.
driving intoxicated charges and
I
fighting.
didn't see the numbers. They usually come out with the numbers. Let me see.
Is it usually like alcohol related fighting, alcohol related driving, alcohol related nudity? Is that pretty much the top 3 things for getting arrested for there? Or is it like theft, vandalism? I don't know.
Let's see.
Wow, it's so dead there. Crazy.
Okay.
It looks like my town.
Yeah, just a normal ass town now.
Yeah, just normal ass town. Well, what do you know?
It doesn't have the numbers.
But I bet there was a lot. Bet there was more than 10. 90% positive there was more than 10
More than 10 arrests?
arrests.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I always get these Wounded Warrior deals in the because I donate to them.
Yeah.
And they come with these cute little notepads that have like your name on them and the Wounded Warrior. And I just realized when you finish using all the paper in the notepad, the very back page of it,
Mhm.
I always thought it was just like a little flyer, like, just telling you, Wounded Warriors, I support you. You can fold it in half. It's perforated and it's bookmarks. I'm so
Aw.
excited. Now I have bookmarks.
Okay, so
Very cool. Okay, I'm so easily amused.
from
Sorry.
this year, and this was up to Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
359,338 vehicles.
Whoa.
That was on Lizelle Street in Sturgis.
Shit,
And
that's
that
a
was
lot of
not
vehicles.
that was not even that was through Thursday, August 10th.
That's a lot of vehicles.
Right.
people.
But it doesn't say any crashes or I'm trying to find the numbers of how many people were like arrested and killed and stuff.
Oh, people were killed?
Oh yeah.
Oh, God. Oh,
There
I
was
don't wanna
one
know
guy.
that.
There was one guy that stole a cop car and he got shot by the cops because he stole a cop car.
Well, that's his own stupidity.
Right. I'm not saying it's not it wasn't like a thing. But yeah, there was one guy who died from that.
Lordy.
So and there's like I think there was like 3 different fatal motorcycle accidents the first day.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kaz said, imagine being a federal agent sent to Sturgis looking for a fugitive during the rally. Absolutely, dude. There's like actually quite a few that have to come and like.
Dang. I bet that's
there's a lot of undercover cops that come in during the rally, and there's so many drug busts and felony arrests for this, that, and the other, and like I said, the courthouse has been busy since last week. But a lot of those guys, so they'll hire a lawyer for their initial appearance and all that stuff, right? And then it'll kind of back off. A lot of people plead their shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
DUIs you can't really, I guess, but I don't know, like. I had to go to a court thing. This was several years ago now, probably 2016, 17. And there was a guy in there they picked up during the rally. And he had a warrant out since 1981. And they stopped him and picked him up for a DUI warrant from 81. I was like, whoa, dude. So there's lots of people that skip out their shit. So let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yep, that was Sturgis. I don't know, Aila? Yeah. Because last week it was a motorcycle rally, and we talked about it. So
yeah, so we were just seeing how dead it is now that that's cleared out.
Because last week it was 150,000 people in that same shot. Now there's no one. So
yeah, there's a couple cars making legal left-hand turns.
Yeah. So thank God for Sturgis. I do, I really do enjoy the rally. I enjoy the camaraderie of it. And it is something to see. If you are in that culture at all, it's something to see. Even if you're not into motorcycles and you're kind of pulling through, I would not recommend coming to Sturgis
for the rally.
Yep. That's right. Isla. Okay. The town goes from like 6,000 to 500,000. Absolutely. Or more.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It is so, but it's so, God, how do you, it's a thing. It is a thing. It's kind of, it's something to see. Kind of like,
just like
Mardi Gras, New Orleans, or,
Worst Fest here,
Yep.
Fiesta in San Antonio.
Yep.
What's that big thing in Austin every year?
South by Southwest.
The ACL, South by Southwest, whatever, all that stuff. Yeah.
It's
just something to see.
It's something to see all the time. And Sturgis really is cool. But like I said, it's just a weird departure to go from that. Oh, she lives in Rapid. I live in Spearfish. So yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
See, y'all are like neighbors and shit.
Basically, yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Aww.
Burning Man.
Cool.
Yep, Burning Man. But that's another one. Like you just want to go there for like a minute. Like it'd be cool to see, but
I wouldn't want to live there.
No, you wouldn't want to live here because it snows. You wouldn't want to live here because it snows. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
We all know I don't want to live there because it would snow.
But it doesn't get 130 degrees either. It's either for the summer.
So hot today. So hot.
No, even Spanky today was like, man, it's hot. I was like, ooh, it's getting hot. Spanky.
When Spanky says it's hot, it's fucking hot because she is all about the outdoors and the heat. But no, it's ridiculous.
Which is fine.
So
I'm happy.
And we haven't
I'm
had
happy
rain since Jesus was a private, so it's hot and dry. It's just nasty. You don't want to be in Texas right now. It's uncomfortable. This is what it feels like to be in Texas right now. Go take a hot shower, like a hot, like the hottest shower ever, and then don't dry off, but get dressed, and then go stand in the sun. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
Yeah. That's what it feels like all day long, from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed. In fact, it is what time right here now? It is 21:38, and it is 92 fucking degrees outside. 92.
Kaz said it was 94 today, and he was loving it. So
yeah, well, he's north of me.
Isla's correct. It's supposed to be 103 here on Friday. So there is that. But it's only going to be for like a minute. It'll be for like a day.
Okay. The forecast for the rest of this week, are you ready?
Yes.
Tomorrow's 105, Friday's 105, Saturday's 103, Sunday's 103. Oh, Monday's 101. Next Tuesday, we're supposed to get down to 95, and next Wednesday down to 91. We'll see if that happens, because last week they said Tuesday was supposed to be like 98, and it did not be 98. It was way hotter.
It did not be 98. It was ridiculous.
It did not be. It was ridiculous degrees out.
Yeah.
And the feels like right now is actually says it feels like it's 91, even
Mhm.
though it says it's 92 because there's a slight wind
Well,
to make it cooler. But it's fucking 91
so
degrees at 9:30 at night. It's
Holly
bullshit.
said her low is 62 tonight. My low here is 58.
Okay. Oh,
So, and Isla's right. It's supposed to be, well, mine say 96 for Friday,
rude.
84 on Thursday, and 96, 88, 83, 84, 88, 86. So
Kyle
upper
says
80s.
rain is in the forecast. How much rain is in the forecast?
Ooh.
If it's not above 60%, it ain't happening.
Ours is saying hazy, so there's probably going to be some forest fire bullshit. So it's going to be all smoky and gross. But it's supposed to be 58 tonight, 75 tomorrow night, Friday night 68. It's supposed to be in the 60s. This is, and here's the thing here too. It gets cool at night, and this is what Kaz and I were talking about. Like down there, it just stays hot. Like all night, it's still hot. At least here, like we have that disparity between like at night you almost need a hoodie or a coat or something because it's been when it's 100 degrees during the day and it's 60 at night. It's a 40-degree difference. That's quite a difference.
Our lows here are in the 70s, and when that low hits, is at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, when it's time to go running.
So you can't even sleep. It's 80 degrees when you sleeping.
Oh, yeah, that sounds gross.
It's horrible. And I live in a house that was built in 1949. So literally it's 80 degrees in my house. Even
Want to know
with
the other thing? I'm going to transition back to this. And it's something I noticed too. So last week when we were looking at this, it was still light out.
yeah, it's gotten awful dark awful quick up there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
We lose like an hour of daylight in the month of August. It's fucking gross.
Wow.
Yeah. KEVN app says 102 for Rapid. Probably. Mine says, well, I guess mine, I'm looking at Spearfish. Let me look at Rapid. I'll pull up Rapid.
Well, all I know is I would rather be anywhere but
yeah, mine's
here.
saying mine's showing 100 even and very hot. Wait, here, I'm going to show, I see that pops up. So it says very hot for 100. And you're
Very
like, it's supposed to be like 100 and balls. And it's like, we're like, no, it says very hot.
Okay, mine says severe weather, excessive heat warning
Oof, that sounds
through
gross.
Thursday at 2100.
Holly says high 90s all next week for her. That's kind of what we're seeing for me. Rapid saying 90s and 80s. It'll probably end up being 90. Usually when it says 89, 88 on here, it ends up being... I'm a little bit higher elevation than Rapid. So it's going to be a little bit cooler.
I just want it to be a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
10 degrees would be nice. We could just get some mid 90s for a good straight week. That would be nice.
Yeah, the 90s
That
are pretty
would make
mid.
me happy.
The tourists
We'll get that in
the
October.
tourists take all the sunshine when the rally's over. Yeah, they took it with them, and I want it back. I want the sunshine. I don't want this heat. But you know what? I'm not going to complain about the heat because this summer has been really wet and really cool. Like there's still green grass here, which is crazy. There should not be any green grass here at all. It's usually brown and dry, and you don't want to like fart outside because it might start a forest fire.
That's what's happening here.
Yeah. And it should be. And speaking of fire, like Hawaii, dude.
Oh, I know.
I feel
I'm
badly.
So sad about it.
And this is what I
So
don't
sad
understand.
about it.
Because when I was like, Hawaii is supposed to rain every day. I mean, raining in Hawaii, but the fire's out. Come on, let's get on this. And then there's I hate too. They're like, oh, there's all these land developers trying to come in and sweep up all the land. Fuck that, dude. Don't be a dick. Some of these people will try to make $1 for any cost, and I'm not ready for that. Holly says she's ready for fall. Bring on the pumpkin spice BS. She's over the humidity.
Fuck yeah,
Oh.
me too. I'm all about it. I want to light a candle.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what I just noticed? My candle that's next to me. Is it too soon for this?
What is
This
it?
is a candle, y'all. The name on the candle. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's Sunset in Maui. Oh my god.
Oh, too soon. Too soon.
Soon. Oh, way too soon.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's horrible. I'm not going to be lighting that candle for a while. I was gonna
Yeah.
put a lid on
Ayla
that
says she
one
had
and
to
put it away.
double the amount of time she mowed the lawns. I know, and I'm like, mine's like getting like high again. I'm like, I don't want to mow. I might actually go out there
have
and mow
not
tonight.
had to
Well,
have
not
my lawn
tonight.
guy come out since the beginning of June. I've saved so much
Trade
money
ya.
this summer.
I'm so
on my
sick of
lawn.
mowing. I am so over mowing.
Well, I don't mow. I have someone that comes and mows for me.
I wish I had that. I have a half acre. I wish I charged me to do it. But you know what? We don't have like
My
we don't
yard
really have lawn
size of
care.
a
We only have like
thimble.
a couple lawn care services up. Actually, if I want to get rich, is what I do is because my town is getting full of like affluent retirees who would absolutely pay for that.
There you go.
Keith just
Good
wants to have to
job.
put socks on again. Oh, I wore
Yeah,
I
that
wore
would be
socks
nice.
and boots and jeans, and I rode my bike to work today.
Ah,
But now that Sturgis is over
wore
and I
jeans
work
to
in
work
Sturgis, I can
today.
actually ride my bike to work. And
well, my office is very, very, very cold, so I wear jeans to work.
Yeah.
Because I would freeze in my office if I didn't. But the moment I come home, it's shorts and short sleeve t-shirts. So, or nothing. If I lived alone, but I don't. I live with boys.
stupid boys, stupid
boys.
boys.
Stupid boys, the 12-year-old and the 28-year-old, they don't appreciate seeing their mother and their grandmother undressed. So I have to wear clothes at home. Bastards.
Oh, anyways, it's 8:45 my time.
Yeah. So are you ready to wrap her up? I know you
Yeah.
had said you had to pee about
I
45 minutes
did. I had to go to the
ago.
bathroom like 45. I just kind of.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're going to have that sometimes.
Yep. Ayla's right. Around here, kids have to put their costumes on to fit over snow pants and down coats. Yup.
And down here, we have to
For
decide
Halloween.
our Halloween costumes off of the weather.
Yep.
You can't dress a certain way if it's going to be hot out.
Yep.
You can't wear a costume with long sleeves down here if it's going to be fucking hot. That one year I was that pregnant nun, I about sweat to death. It was awful.
Yeah, you want to gross them out? Give them some money from the boob wallet. That's right.
I bet you we could find a page somewhere that somebody would pay you for boob wallet money.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Anyway,
like
yeah,
pictures.
the bathwater people. We've come full circle. I love it. We've
Yeah,
somehow
yeah.
got back to selling
all the way back to
selling our
food.
nastiness for money. So, all right.
Tonight, you have been listening to.
That's my job.
I know. I'm just kicking it off and hand.
Oh, I was gonna have you do
see
the
me do the
guest. We have a
hand?
guest. We have a guest. Oh, we don't have a guest.
Oh, that's right. We do. We have one guest coming up.
Yep.
Tentatively, this could change. We don't know. There's still the heat going on in Hollywood, but on the 22nd on Pop Culture Warrior, he has Ralph Tedesco. He is the co-founder and head of film and television at Zenscope Entertainment. He is a writer and producer. It is a comic book and graphic novel publishing house, a film production company that was founded in 2005. He's the consulting producer for Sci-Fi Channel's Van Helsing TV series, which was inspired by the Zenscope graphic novel. And that will be with CQ on Pop Culture Warrior on Tuesday, the 22nd.
All right. So maybe we'll have a guest. I think it will kind of depend on the strike and whatnot. So
Yeah.
CQ is trying to honor their wishes with all that, and some people want to abstain from doing interviews. Some don't. So that's going to be up to them, and I think we'll see how that plays out when it gets closer.
Yeah.
We don't have any guests lined up for the next little bit anyway. That may change, sure. So, but you have been listening to what's that, Pop Culture Warrior? I'm so fucking bad at this. You have been listening to Smoke Pit with her, TZ, me, Radar. That's been tonight, all Wednesday. I know I'm so bad at this. I'm so sorry.
It's late. It's been a while. It's been a long
It is.
night.
It's been National Airborne Day. So
It has
there's been that. But we had a special guest tonight,
altitude.
Jack Hill. You can follow him on all of his stuff. If you go to copperhead347.com, you can follow him. I put it in the chats. I'll go ahead and do it again so you guys can go check it out. You can link all of his, he has links to all of his social media stuff and his merch store and all of that stuff there. So please go check him out. Great guy. I really do appreciate you coming on, Jack. That was great. Now, tomorrow night, we got Soren's time. We got Ice, Spanky. Is Spanky back on Soren's time yet?
Not yet.
Damn it. See, I'm messing all things up. So hopefully Spanky soon, because Spanky is one of the best at sergeanting. and we need her.
Oh, she can sergeant like no sergeant has ever sergeanted did before.
So they'll be talking about all things National Guard, Reserve, retiree, active duty, all kinds of stuff going on. ISIS specializes in that, and he'll handle that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday night, this is a Friday Night Freedom Week, I believe. So it'll be Kaz and Pookie talking with things on Friday night on freedom stuff, and it's a great show. I had the opportunity to be on a couple weeks ago, and I really loved it. Friday Night Freedom's great, Kaz is great, Pookie's amazing. Hang out with their show on Friday nights. Saturday night, it's Dawn's a Day no scheduled activities. We will not be here. We will be hanging out with our family and friends and whatnot, and just enjoying the rest of our summer. So I know school's starting to come back into session for people, and there's going to be more and more they're going back. So enjoy them kiddos for the last couple of days where you can. Jack was amazing, Ayla. You're right. Jack was phenomenal, and I was really, really, really honored to have him on tonight. Sunday, sports bar with the coach and the actual King Smith. They'll be talking about sportsing stuff. Foosball is starting quick. We're talking about the foosball, talking about the baseball season wrapping up. Talking about soccer, even though the women's national team's out, so no one really cares anymore. Whatever. But it's Women's World Cup, and let's be honest, nobody cares about Australia except for Australians. So they won't be talking about it. Anyway, Monday night is the Athene Monday edition. It's an edition that hangs out every Monday with them, with Ice and what's his co-host name? Damn it. Massey. I have it written down on my thing, but I moved it so I could get to my Do merch store. I looked at that.
That's what I'm here for. I'm your hard drive.
See the merch store? Do merch store.
Merch store is still there since January.
Yep. Still haven't done it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been trying to figure that shit out. I can't do it. I'm dumb. Anyway, Tuesday night is Pop Culture Warrior with CQ, one of his harem of co-hosts, and possibly
Ralph
a guest.
Tedesco.
Ralph Tedesco, but we'll see how the strike goes when it's come on or not.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll follow that up next week with her TZ B Radar right here on the Smoke Pit. I will hopefully have some videos edited with the.
I will have a new shirt. And
you should have a new shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You should have a new shirt.
And I'll have a new pet. Now I'm moving the pet of the week to a photo.
Okay.
Instead of an animal in the room because it's just gotten chaotic around here. But I will have a new pet next week, and I will have a new shirt.
Yes. So once again, please follow our guest at copperhead347.com. Check out his stuff. Check out his Facebook. Check out his
TikTok. Instagram.
No, not TikTok. Everyone knows it's TikTok. His YouTube. Make him some monies. Make him monies. Get on YouTube, watch his shit, make him some real money. Ayla, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for coming out. Good night. Thanks for everybody in the chats who's come out and in this here every week. And the people who listen after the show, during the show, around the show. We really do appreciate everyone for hanging out with us, hanging out at the Smoke Pit. If there's any content, I feel bad because I feel like we're not engaging with the audience enough. So if there's any content you really want us to kind of focus on, bring it up.
Drop us a line.
Yep. If it's VA stuff, we can't fix the VA. I'm sorry, can't. But if you having troubles with the VA, maybe we can help you out. We talk about like Nexus letters and stuff like that. If that's something you guys want to talk about, if you want to talk about mental health, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, that's great. We'll talk about it. If it's jobs, job searching, job posting, whatever you guys want to talk about, if there's stuff like that you guys really want to hang out and do that, absolutely hook us up. So
and next week I have cake Oreos.
Cake Oreos.
Found them today at the Walmart.
Oh, I should have got some cake Oreos because that was should have been my birthday present to me. It's cake Oreos.
Well, maybe I can send you some cake Oreos.
They won't be any good. They won't be any good by the time they get here. The fuck postman
they're
will
all
eat them.
sealed in the box.
That'd be gross.
They're
going to be all hot in the belly of a plane. I'll just go buy my own cake Oreos. They have them at Walmart.
Okay, go to the Wally World and get you some cake Oreos so we can share them together on the air next week.
Well,
I haven't had them yet, and I want to try them, and I bet they're fantastic.
So it's great. So, but I'm going to let you guys go. It's been great. It's been so fun. It's been a 3-hour show. And please follow Jack Hill. I'll share his stuff on the Smoke Pit page too. check out all of our guests. They're doing amazing things. I try to follow them as much as I can on their socials and try to post some stuff. I just saw Mark Ridge is going to have a show coming up. I share that on the Facebook page. So if you haven't already, please follow the Smoke Pit. We try to post some stuff on there, get it out to you guys. Support our guests.
His birthday was yesterday, Isla.
Yep, my birthday was the 15th. So, but yeah,
we missed it by a day.
Missed it by a day. You know what? I played low yesterday. I had all these great plans to do great things, and then I hung out with my kids. I didn't even go on a motorcycle ride. I used to go on a birthday motorcycle ride. I didn't do that. I got my kids ready for cross country.
But you hung out with your kids.
I did, and I felt like that was great. Cool. And then my mom and dad and my uncle came down for dinner, and we had pizza.
See, there you go. So you did have a great time.
It was great. It was absolutely great. It was just low key. It wasn't like a big. Usually have a big shindig, a big to do, and I didn't.
That happens as you get older.
I mean, it happened last year.
Unless you're me and you wear funny shirts and go to bars and take group pictures with men in their 20s. Well, I'll have to pull that picture up and we'll have to show that sometime.
All right, then. Anyways, all right. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to play some music. I got some, let's see what I got coming up. I got some starts and ends with some Triple Fine. Ooh, and then, do we want to do, I'll do 7 minutes. We'll play Annalie by Humbletown. That's when we're doing it.
Sounds good.
That'll be first, and then Triple Fine will be your way out. So it gives about 7 minutes of music. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for being part of the show. And we'll see you guys back here next week.
Next week. Bye.
Shots.
Just running from the pain in my heart. Into the arms of another, and for a while she made me feel alright. But in a crazy blunder, your love took me back under. Now I'm tied to those shackles and chains. Said don't cry for me, I'm just running from the pain in my heart. I'm just running from the pain in my heart. 10 years time it took me to unwind, and now I'm right back from where it began. How old will I be when you finally set me free and the sun shines on my heart again? Said don't cry for me, sweet Anna Lee. You know you're the keeper of my stars. I love you and I want you, and you'll always draw me near. I'm just running from the pain in my heart. I'm just running from the pain in my heart. I'm just running from the pain in my heart.
Their love on me like water. Got an ocean full of love that's made for two. We can sail up on the ocean breeze, and sunshine feels like you loving me. We got a good thing going on, you know that's true. I'm feeling fine, fine, fine. Boy, your love on me like wine. Come on, mama, fill me up. Let me take a sip from your loving cup. Feeling fine, 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 fine. Boy, your love on me like wine. Well, I like waking up lying next to you when the sun's so hot and the sky's so blue. There ain't a single thing I'd rather do than spend all my time making love to you. Ain't got a plan, just a way to live in a big bag of love that we love to give out to the world through song and show. If you're getting on the bus, let's go, go, go. I'm feeling fine, fine, fine. Boy, your love on me like wine. Come on, mama, fill me up. Let me take a sip from your loving cup. Feeling fine, 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 fine. Boy, your love on me like wine. Feeling fine, 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 fine. Boy, your love on me like wine. Feeling fine, 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 fine. Boy, your love on me like wine. Feeling fine, fine, fine. Hey, Sioux Falls, thank you so much.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.